No worries, everyone. Will is just trying to tangle her headphones over here.
No, I think that's just what I do every time I actually wrap them up, because there's not really a logic to unwrapping them most of the time. The best bet. How many does Bio send this week? It sounded like he didn't include anything from the stream I missed in last week's memes.
That's accurate.
So it's technically 2 streams worth of memes.
Nope. Incorrect.
How do you figure?
Because I have insider knowledge. You're welcome, Sarge.
Why am I not seeing all the messages?
Probably because you're not on live.
I swapped over to all messages and it just...
Well, all messages is in a setting, so you're probably not on live.
Okay. Thank you for making me want to go through professional mode on RE4. You'd already been hard leaning towards doing that during the Dokapon Kingdom stream, Sarge.
Let's see. Looking like maybe 6 is the answer.
Oh, 6 isn't bad. Bio says, in addition to what I mentioned previously, there was also one other from the batch I sent that I'm electing to hold on to until after the support rush is done, since it'd be better suited for then.
Oh, so, like, happy Zombie Jesus Day to anybody that celebrates Zombie Jesus Day.
What a way of saying Happy Easter.
I mean, how else would you describe it? It's the day Jesus became a zombie.
No, it's the day that John beat... Oh, which other apostle was it he went to the tomb with? Was it Peter? No.
Just to keep in mind, if Bio had sent all the stuff he already had ready last week instead of just the ones from the Bio session, we would have had more than 20 to go through at the time. Yep, that sounds about right.
Jesus, Bio.
Okay, let's get over here. Let me find the imagey bit. Okay, so up first, a familiar song to soothe the heart. Singing slowly coming to a close, and then something hitting the ground. I think that was all of it that time. Looks like I was finally able to remember how the whole thing went. Oh, you're already back? Well, that definitely didn't take long. Good to see you, Shez. And you aren't wrong. We hadn't really thought of it before heading out, but turns out you had already captured most of the territory in this area because of the different spots we've set the camp up before, so we were only out there for a few days before deciding to come back. Oh, well, I guess that makes sense. We've been pretty thorough with that stuff up to now, so there probably wouldn't be a whole lot to do when we were traveling backwards like this. Sorry for sending you guys out there for nothing like that. It's alright. The professor seemed like she was disappointed that there wasn't anything for us to fight, but at least we didn't have to fight any more of those brawlers this time. Well, there's a silver lining if there ever was one. I can't understand where they're even getting so many of those guys from lately. Hey, by the way, that was you singing before I came over, wasn't it? It sounded really nice. Shez, I know you're just trying to be supportive, but we both know that you don't like the way I sing, so you don't have to force yourself to say things like that. Oh, no, I wasn't lying or anything, honest. Something about it just felt different than your singing usually does. It did? Yeah, I don't usually get the way your singing sounds, but it was almost like there was something more to it than usual that time. Not really that great at describing music stuff, but I guess it was like your heart was in it more compared to how you sounded before. So you think so too, then? Huh? What do you mean I do too? I'm not really sure why, but for the past week or so, it just felt like anytime I've thought about singing, the nobles I've been stuck picturing as the only ones listening haven't been there anymore. Really? What do you think caused that? I don't know, but for the first time and longer than I can remember, I've actually felt like I can finally sing for myself again like I used to. Oh, I'm glad to hear it, Dorothea. I guess now you're finally one step closer to finding that person you talked about wanting to sing for again. Thanks, Shez. I really hope you're right. No problem. Actually, I did want to ask, what was that you were singing anyways? It was an old lullaby that I've been trying to remember. A lullaby? Yeah, I've been remembering it in bits and pieces for a while now, and I finally managed to work out the whole thing just now. I don't quite remember where I first learned it, but I can at least feel that it's something very important to me, even if I don't know why. Somewhere close by. What was with all that jostling around all of a sudden? You know I was trying to... Hold on. She's sleeping? Why is she just sleeping outside like this? Hey, this isn't the time to be taking a nap. If you don't hurry up, then you're gonna miss... breakfast. This might actually be the most peaceful I've seen her sleep since before we went back. It's almost like all the stress that's been keeping her propped up the last few years suddenly just vanished somehow. I don't know how she ended up like this, but maybe it wouldn't hurt to just let her rest here. At least for a little while. She can always find something to eat later when she wakes up, or steal it from Felix or something.
Yeah, I was about to say more accurately, steal Felix or Sylvain's rations.
Mostly Felix, to be honest. He is Felix. Sometimes a good friend can be all it takes to set you on the right track. Oh, hello, Shez. Were you on your way to the cafeteria? Hold on, is Marianne actually trying to start a conversation with me? I was planning on it, yeah. Oh, what about you, Marianne? Going over to grab something to take back to your tent? I was feeling somewhat hungry as well, yes. Would you like to sit down to eat together? Ah, that's new. Sure, I guess. I wouldn't mind if you're up for it. Later, in the mess hall. Man, that really hit the spot. It's always great whenever it ends up being Dedu's turn in the kitchen, don't you think? Yes, the food he prepares is always wonderful. I'll say. And him and Ash always seem to be on their A game whenever one of them gets picked for cafeteria duty. Honestly, kind of makes me wonder what they could do if they ended up working together back there instead of having to take turns. I'm sure it would be a very impressive meal. Hey, Marianne, if it's alright with you, could I ask you something? I wouldn't mind. You can ask whatever you'd like, Shez. So why did you invite me to eat with you like this? Last time we talked, you made it pretty clear that spending time with others like this wasn't something you wanted to risk. No, the reason I had asked was because I've made a decision since the last time we spoke. Huh? What do you mean? I'm not going to worry about if whether or not my being around others will bring them misfortune anymore. From now on, I'm going to stop trying to push everyone away like I had been. Wow. I thought you seemed a lot more relaxed recently, but I didn't realize it was because of something that big. I'm really glad to hear that, Marianne. Thank you, Shez. I've been with you all here for a long time now, and so far, nothing bad has happened to any of you because of it. I'm still somewhat anxious over it, but I wanted to try adopting a more easygoing approach like yours so I can spend more time with my friends without worry. Huh, I guess Dorothea was the right choice for those missions after all. She was a very big help in many ways. Without her there, I don't think I could have gotten myself to sit here with you like I am now. Yeah, I'm not sure why, but it seems like she's really been stepping up lately to help everyone around here. I don't know if she has some experience as a mediator from back when she was still with the Empire's forces or what, but all of us are lucky to have a friend like her around. Yes, we truly are. Hey, now that you're starting to open up more, do you think there's a chance your adoptive father might lighten up his attitude towards you a bit? I don't think that is something I could ever hope to look towards. But I do feel like his opinions of how I choose to live my life aren't something I have to worry about for very long. Okay. I'm not sure what that means, and for some reason my head hurts to think about it, but I'm at least happy you aren't letting him get to you anymore. Hey, by the way, I can't help but notice that you have a bunch of meat on your plate for some reason. Yes, I filled up on the vegetables I had. Did Annie and Mercy still not sort out the meal plan so you could actually get something without meat? I really need to talk to them about that at some point. No, I ordered this meal on purpose. Wait, you did? But I thought you don't like eating meat, Marianne. I don't know. Okay then, I guess I could eat it for you so it doesn't go to waste if you need me to. Thank you for your offer, Shez, but it's alright. I was saving it. You're saving it? What for? I was planning to bring it to King Dimitri after we'd finished our meal here. You're planning to... Huh? He has been rather busy lately with his paperwork and hasn't had the time to eat properly like the rest of us. So I wanted to make sure he doesn't have to search for something to eat so late into the night anymore. Alright, that's definitely new. I guess that she doesn't want to push us all away anymore after talking with Dorothea, but where did that suddenly come from?
So Bio says, and this first comments back on the previous image, that something he wanted to make clear, or nope, I have to go back one further, that he had to custom make the sleeping portrait for Byleth, by the way. And unlike how Dorothea had her winking portrait to base a sleeping portrait on, Byleth super didn't, so that shit was done from scratch. With regard to this image, Bio says a couple things. So something he wanted to make clear so far is that for the most part, Marianne's progress has been largely something she's made on her own, with the help that others have been giving her. Byleth showing up and making her old memories start to come back was just the last little, he says judge, I assume he meant nudge, she needed, and was also what caused a certain other trait to finally come back to her again.
Unfortunately, not all roommates can be created equal. Hey, Professor Byleth, could I have a second here? What is it, Thief? First of all, my name isn't Thief, it's Shez. Neat. What do you want, Thief? I'm not gonna get anywhere on that, am I? Nope. Now, get to the point already. Alright, since you're here with us now, and you've definitely shown how good you are in a fight before, I was wondering if maybe you'd be willing to spar with me? Hold on. Let me get this straight. You came over here to actually ask me to kick your ass. Seriously. Well, that's not exactly how I would put it, but it is exactly what you're asking now. But with how strong you are, I just thought that training with you might be a good way for me to learn some new techniques and help make it easier to keep the others safe. Fine. You're lucky I'm in a good mood after actually getting some decent sleep for once earlier, but don't pretend like I didn't warn you how this was gonna go. One very thorough ass-kicking later. Oh, wow. If you could dodge that, then you must be nearly as strong as me. I don't get it. How are you this strong? Oh, what are you talking about? Obviously, you're pretty decent. Yourself, if you could manage to keep up with me. What are you talking about? I've fought you enough before to know you haven't even been trying so far. You haven't even used your weird speed powers once yet. Okay, first, just because I can run fast, that doesn't mean I have speed powers. Second, how dense are you that you can't even take such an obvious hint? I'm trying to not beat you into a coma if you haven't noticed. Why are you holding back so much anyway? Because if I don't play nice with you, then we'll probably just get kicked out of here. Duh. Besides, I can't imagine nearly beating you to death for fun would look great to everyone else. Just out of curiosity, if you're already this skilled at holding yourself back, how long have you had your powers for anyways? Oh, let's see. I want to say the first time this damn glow showed up was something like, what, 11 years ago now, JPEG? Yeah, about 11 years. Then I didn't have it for a couple years because of reasons. And then it unfortunately showed up again after that time. JPEG nearly punched you to death a year or so back. Though at least this time it comes with some extra benefits. Yeah, you keep mentioning that JPEG thing. What even is that? The way you talk about it sometimes, it's almost like you're speaking to someone inside your head. Did she really have to call me a thing like that? Yeah,
Sorry.
Stop skipping ahead on panels.
Don't scroll down further than you want me to see.
Obviously, that's because I am talking to someone that's in my head. Seriously, how bad are you at paying attention? It's not like I've ever made that a secret to anyone. You're... what? JPEG is the name of the ghost who lives in my head. And she also doesn't appreciate you calling her a thing, asshole. Alright, I'm sorry. There's no way she isn't playing a trick on me here, right? Honestly, why is this such a hard thing for you to understand? And the way you keep shooting glares off towards nothing whenever I'm around, I'd have figured you had your own talking ghost living in your head, too.
Beep.
No, I can't really say I have someone that talks to me in my head. Or at least, he hasn't actually talked to me for a while now. Really? I'd have thought it came with the weird glowy powers and all that. Seems pretty par for the course from my experience. Nope, I'm definitely the only one in here. I couldn't even imagine how incredibly annoying it would be to have to share your head with somebody else all the time. Does she not realize how bad a liar she is? It's like reading a damn book with how bad she is at covering her expressions. Violet, you can't read. Hey, don't think I didn't catch that just now, JPEG. Laugh like that again, and I'm not adding in that new cat for your game like you asked. Sorry, I know that wasn't in good taste, but I just couldn't help it. Alright, either she's actually telling the truth, or she's just completely insane, and given what I've seen her do before, I'm really not sure which it is.
So Bio says on this one. So as you'd immediately guess, the entire image started with the Arval panel and worked its way back from there, because the image of him doing that was just hilarious to me when I thought of it.
I mean, clearly.
He continues to say he's just so unbelievably pissed off over the fact that Violet is actually here, and literally the only thing he's done since then has been that.
Putting an age-old argument to rest. Alright, looks like everything is in order here, which means... now I've run out of things to do. Again. Damn it, it isn't in here either. Hey, someone else in here? Ingrid, what's up with the yelling? Oh, I didn't realize I said that out loud. Sorry about that, Shez. Don't worry about it. What's got you so upset? I've been looking for my spear, Lewin. Well, your spear's gone? Yeah, for some reason it wasn't next to my bed when I woke up this morning, so I've been trying to figure out where it went. Huh. Well, I wouldn't mind lending a hand if you need one. I don't have much else to do anyway. I really appreciate the help, thanks. Several hours of fruitless searching later. Now, where the hell could it have gone? Well, I honestly couldn't tell you. At this point, we've asked just about everyone in camp if they've seen it, but nobody seems to know what happened to it. I can't understand how someone even got close enough to steal it in the first place without waking me up. I'm usually on guard for things like this. Oh, can't help but notice you two have been running all over the place for the last few hours. What's up with that? Oh, it's you. We've been trying to figure out what happened to... Wait, were you spying on what I was doing again? Don't take it personally, thief. I spy on everyone, not just you. It's kind of a hobby of mine. This was one of those mercenaries you recently recruited, right? Don't worry about introducing yourself. Or worry about introducing yourself later, Ingrid. Now, what's got you both running around everywhere? Oh, we've been looking for Ingrid's spear, Lewin. It seems that someone took it while she was asleep last night. Oh, that's all? You're looking for the spear that I've actually been holding onto it for a while now. You have? Yep, just give me a sec. There you go. Thanks for the help. We've been looking everywhere for... What is that stabbed onto the end of it? It looks like... baloney? Oh, what in the hell did they do to you? When I find whoever defaced my Lewin by shoving this stupid tube of meat onto it... Oh, that? Yeah, that was me. Huh? I wanted to settle an old argument, so I went and grabbed the thing from Ingrid's room earlier. I was actually about to test something out before I got caught up with watching you guys run around everywhere. You... What? I mean, I knew you'd never agree if I actually asked, so I just borrowed the thing while you were asleep. It was a pretty reasonable workaround, if you ask me. How many times do I have to tell you to keep your damn hands off my Lewin, Professor?
Zoom.
What the hell was that? Did it just shoot a pillar of fire when you swung it? Has Lewin always done that? Ches, I'm pretty sure if anyone knew it could do that, it would be me. So believe me when I say that it's never done that before. But then why would it suddenly start doing that now? And what's wrong with your eyes, Ingrid? Huh? My eyes? What are you... Ha! See? I kept telling you it would work, JPEG, but you never believed me.
Okay, so Bio says, by the way, this one's been waiting for more than half a year to finally be paid off, and as soon as I committed to these images for Hopes, I've been waiting for when I could finally do it. And guess what I had to make again for a third fucking time now.
Laying the foundation for a new department branch. I thought I heard someone in here. What brings you to the armory, Sylvain? Are you trying to work on those miniature fire orb gun things again? No, they Shez, and I doubt I'll bother with those again. I'm starting to think they're a lost cause at this point, since I'm not really knowledgeable about that stuff to figure it out myself, and I sort of doubt there'd be some kind of expert around for it either. No, I was actually performing maintenance on a new piece of gear I was given recently. New gear, huh? What'd you get? Now there's the question I wanted to hear. If you want to know what it is, then this should answer your question. Huh. That's a pretty fancy looking lance, Sylvain. Where'd you get it from? Oh, right. Guess you wouldn't have seen it before. Remember a while back when we helped my dad out with that problem in Strang? I do? Yeah, what about it? Well, in return for helping to sort that mess out for him, he eventually decided to give me this a couple days ago. Wait. If your father gave that to you, then does that mean... You know it. This right here is... is Ingrid. Sorry, my Lance of Ruin. Wait, your Lance of Ruin? What are you talking about? This is my land. No, I'm the one it belongs to. Stop saying that it's yours. Guys, what exactly is going... Ingrid, what are you on about? This lance has been in my family for generations now, and until a few days ago, it was back with my father at home. In fact, I'm pretty sure you've never seen it before just now. Like hell I haven't. I've been trying to figure out where that thing has been for weeks now, Sylvain. So just hurry up and hand it over already before you end up scratching it. Seriously, could one of you please explain what... Oh, just give me the damn thing! Professor Byleth, what are you doing here? These two were arguing so loudly I could hear them from outside on my way by. Now, someone tell me what the hell this is about. I've got somewhere I need to be, so I want to sort this shit out quickly. Sylvain was trying to take my Lance of Ruin. Ingrid was trying to take my Lance of Ruin. I can really do without you both shouting at me in stereo, thanks. Alright, in situations like these where the current ownership rights of a given item are in question, the continued possession of it defaults to whomever I deem to have legally acquired it first. Right? And since the Lance of Ruin was just given to me by my family, that means... There you go, Ingrid. Huh? What? Thanks, Professor. Yeah, sure. Just make sure you only touch the thing when you already have Lewin on you. I am not dealing with that mess again. Alright then. I'm not sure what Lewin has to do with this, but I guess I'll keep that in mind. Professor Byleth, didn't you just say you were giving the lance to the person who had it first? And that's exactly what I did. How many times do I have to tell you to pay attention? But in that case, shouldn't I have been the one who... Sylvain, are you questioning the head of the Lost and Found department? As if I, of all people, somehow don't know my shit regarding the legal ownership of lost valuables? No, Professor. That's what I thought. So, like I said earlier, I have somewhere more important I need to be right now. If this comes up again, just punch each other or whatever. I'm sure Ingrid would still win anyways. What the actual hell just happened here?
Bio says, this one, also one I've been waiting on since I started making these for Hopes.
Ingrid getting her lance back, you know.
One of her many lances. Lancin?
Lancin.
Lanci.
And finally, you should really reconsider all your life choices, Byleth said calmly. Alright, time to check if her temperature is... Professor, what brings you to the infirmary like this? Was there something you needed me to check on? What happened? Pardon? What happened? Why is she here like this? Oh, you were referring to Dorothea. It's rather nice of you to come to check on her, but there's nothing to worry about. She seems to have simply caught a cold from overworking herself, so she'll be just fine after a few days of rest. Overworking herself? With what? If the thief was giving her more work than she could handle, then... Thief? Who is... Oh, that's right. No, it wasn't anything to do with Shez. Ugh, fine. I'll at least give her that she knows how to follow instructions then. What was Dorothea overworking herself with? I could be mistaken, but I've recently noticed her spending a great deal of time during the weekly meetings taking extensive notes of what was being discussed, and that she seems to be taking on a lot of the work intended for someone else. Whose work? A short while later... Why must I wake up so early just to work on such a nice day as this? Times like these would be much better spent napping. Find someone else to take your damn notes for you. Sorry, but do I know... Find someone else to take your damn notes. What's with all this hostility? Oh, if I were actually being hostile right now, then you would already be busy taking a permanent nap. Do not make me repeat myself again. Just time out for a second. Can you please just explain what this is all about? The only reason I am giving you any leeway on this is because you helped me screw over Leone once. Remember that, and make sure you listen, because you will not be so lucky again. I hoped you'd do... What? Dorothea is sick right now because you have her overworking herself to do all of your work for you. So either find someone else to pawn your work onto, or better yet, get off your lazy ass and do your own fucking job for once. See, this is why I say things would be easier if everyone approached their work like I do. People spent more of their time sleeping, then they wouldn't end up getting over... Does it look like I'm here to make jokes with you, Linhart? I guess it was maybe a little over... Now, since you're apparently unable to comprehend simple instructions, how about we just move on to the next step instead? Next step? What does that mean? Do your own fucking work from now on, or I'm going to personally teach you how hard it is to make your bed with broken arms. Got it? I'll be sure to show up to the meetings from now on, Professor. That's what I thought. I'll be in the infirmary for the next few days, so if another problem comes up, do not let yourself be that problem. Again.
And Bio says, hey, remember when you said last week, man, Violet's gonna fucking kill you with this, right, Lindhart? Well, guess what? I'd already had that made and ready before you even said that.
Yeah. No surprise there. I just double check. Nope, did not get bamboozled. That is in fact the last one. Here's how you tab back over here. And minimize down so I can see chat again. Okay. So we left off at Dedue and Catherine. Which I like 90% of the way remembered. We'll attest. I was hovering over this and then went to go check the video because I wasn't 100% sure. But I was like, I think we're on Dedue, Catherine.
Oh, Dedue. Must be my lucky day if I'm running into you here. Hey, what's with the scowl? Do we have a problem?
All the residents in this town are people of Dusker.
Okay.
It may be within the kingdom, but it holds neither monastery nor church. What is your reason for coming here?
Wait, Dimitri and Lady Rhea didn't tell you?
They did not.
I know everyone's been busy, but that's unacceptable. Well, there was a major fire here, right? Lady Rhea asked us to come help rebuild. We brought rations, too. Never hurts to have a little more food in your stores. So relax, please. I swear on the goddess herself that we don't intend to harm any of you.
I heard that! Violence from
His
the
Majesty
distance.
to spare some aid in rebuilding the town. But I did not expect the task to fall to you.
What kind of church are we if we don't help those in need? Besides, we owe Fargus quite the debt. You guys took us in, even going as far as to start a war with the Empire in the process. This is the least we can do to return the favor.
Surely the Knights of Saros have long since repaid their debts on the
Bio.
battlefield.
Catherine, the problem you ran into there was actually expecting Rhea to explain things
won't
to
let us hear the end
people.
of it if we don't
Yeah,
let
right?
them pitch in too.
Ray's bad at doing that.
So when Lady Rhea heard about the fire,
This random
she
mercenary is a
jumped at
professor
the
now.
chance to help.
Why? Because I said so. Shut up,
so?
Seth.
Yep.
I know the people of
This
Dusker
random
will
mercenary
have their
will be
concerns,
Archbishop
since
when
they're
I'm
not
gone.
followers of
Why? Don't question me, Seth.
But it'll all be fine.
Because,
And
like,
we can't just
theoretically,
sit
if there was
around
anyone
twiddling
she
our
could have
thumbs while people out there
told
desperately need help,
about her
right?
actual rationale, it would have been Sedith and
That's how all
Flame.
of
They'd
us
have
who follow the teachings of
understood.
Lady Rhea view it.
Like,
You're free to supervise if you still don't
I mean,
trust us.
How long are
No.
we expected
You
to
seem to
have
be
believed they
speaking the
were at the
truth.
monastery? Because, like,
His Majesty has expressed similar
it has to
sentiments
have
in
been
the
less
past.
than, like,
I
20
believe your
years.
desire to help is sincere.
Because otherwise they
Thanks
would
to
have
you.
been
I
there
was starting to think you were about to tell us to
when
pack up and go
Byleth
home.
was born. At the
Well,
monastery.
Now that we're all square on that front, point us toward what needs the most help. We'll do manual labor,
you know,
planning,
I
you name
don't
it.
know for sure.
In that case, I'd
How
ask
long
that you clear
they
away the
were
burnt
away
wood
from the
and help
monastery.
distribute food
Like,
to
there
the
is no
townsfolk.
conceivable
I will
way
explain to
that they
everyone
were
what you're
at the
doing here.
monastery and did not
Yes,
hear
that's
that Rhea had a
probably for the
granddaughter.
best. I'm sure they'll be
There's
much
no
more
way.
willing to listen to you. Anyway, we'd better get to work.
Especially Sedith, in Sedith's position.
It's entirely possible Flame was in a coma somewhere at the time.
She explains things by either telling Sedith to do it for her, not explaining it at all, or just punching someone in the face so she doesn't have to explain anything to begin with. Yeah, basically.
Hey, Dedue, I've been thinking. Fargus has really changed lately.
How do you mean?
I don't know. That's just the feeling I get when I see what goes on in this town. Don't you agree? It's like everyone here trusts you unconditionally, even though you serve the King of Fargus, someone they should hate with all their hearts. It must have taken a lot of hard work to rebuild that trust. I'm honestly impressed.
The achievement is not my own. His Majesty has been striving towards this for some time now.
Forget, does Seneth know about Ray's daughter in the first place?
When you put it that way,
I don't
makes me
I
think
don't
he must have been
know.
planning it all along.
It sure didn't seem like it.
I mean,
Yeah,
people
again,
used to
I
say he
feel
was
like
right in the head when he first
the
chose you
answer
as his retainer.
should be
But he
yes.
clearly had reason for doing so.
But
There was never any indication of it. You know,
I
like
can still hear the echoes
that's the
of their
thing,
gossip in my
right?
ears.
Like,
The castle was full of it. It led me to ask His Majesty why he
which
saved
leads
my
me to
life.
believe that Seneth could not
He
possibly
replied
have
that
been
neither
at Garreg
faith
Mach
nor
at the
birth
time.
are of import when a person's life is in danger.
Lady Rhea has told me the same thing. She saved me once a long time ago, just like Dimitri did for you. Twice, actually, even though I don't have a religious bone in my body. It's gotta be in their blood to never abandon someone in need.
Perhaps His Majesty and the Archbishop aren't as dissimilar as I thought.
True. Neither of them seem to let their lofty positions go to their head. They have that in common, too.
I'm not sure I follow.
Well, despite her role as Archbishop, it's not too uncommon to find Lady Rhea at an orphanage.
Lady
playing with
Rhea,
the
why are
children.
you referring to Professor Byleth as
And
mother
Dimitri's the same way,
now?
right?
I don't have to
I
explain
heard he
shit
was
to you,
off teaching
Seneth. You
some
know
village
that.
kids how to fight just the other day.
Unfortunately.
Yes, that is true. Though I'd prefer he spend his free time at rest instead.
Hey, helping people is calming in its own way, right? So if making sure he's well rested is part of your job, I say you let him do that however he sees fit.
Unfortunately,
one
the
way
way
of
he
doing
sees
things.
fit tends
I'll
to be
think on
doing
it.
lots of paperwork and then doing
I
trading and
suppose
then not
we
sleeping
probably
and then
understand each other better than most, serving such similar leaders.
You're suggesting that you and I have much in common as well.
Maybe. Either way, it's been a real joy talking to you. We've probably been through a lot of the same ups and downs in life, if I had to guess. In time, I bet we could even become friends. So long as our bosses stay in each other's good graces.
Agreed. Though, if they were to part ways.
Whoa, no need to go there. I think we both know what would happen if they ever chose to cross swords. We'd kill each other without hesitation. I'm sure we have that in common, too.
at least Dimitri's actually getting food when he works himself to death now. Not of his own volition, but yes. Okay. Felix and Ash, yes.
Felix and Ash.
Felix, what are you
Time to
doing
be
here?
upset with how much of a snob Felix is.
I had business in the capital. Speaking of, I hear you're that boar's knight now.
Or... Oh, you mean His Majesty.
Yes, the boar, that's what I said.
Him. You must have it rough with a tiresome man like that leading you.
I think you're exaggerating, Felix. I wouldn't call him that at all. In fact, he even does our jobs for us sometimes.
See, that's exactly why he's such a problem. You should steal your job back from him once in a while. Use force if you have to.
Felix, are you?
Anyway, the castle has certainly changed in the past, what, 2 years since he took over? For one thing, there are many more commoners among the knights.
You have a good eye to notice that. But yes, His Majesty says there are pros and cons to it. For example, knights from noble families tend to be more polite and respectful. There were a lot of scuffles and misunderstandings in the beginning, but things seem to be calming down now.
And which are you, noble or commoner? You became a knight on Lord Lenato's recommendation, right?
Yeah, my situation is kind of strange. I'm almost stuck right in the middle. Still, I feel like there are things only I can do precisely because I don't fit into either box. But whenever I'm in real trouble, His Majesty and Dedue always come to my aid. So that's good.
Dedue as well, huh?
Yep. Even
Felix
the
Ash has been a
knights
knight
accept
for
him as one
years
of
now.
us.
Did you literally only just notice?
No one's a better cook or more skilled with their hands. And he's a proper demon on the battlefield to boot. I hope to be more like him someday.
Please, no. One of him is more than enough. Especially that blind loyalty. Imitate that and you'll only end up throwing away your life on the battlefield.
Oh, are you worried about us? That's sweet, Felix. I always had the impression you cared for your friends, and now I know I'm right.
Excuse me?
I mean, sure, the things you say are pretty harsh, but you can't bring yourself to actually abandon someone. You always show so much concern for me, and for Dedue, and even for His Majesty.
Even His
Yeah,
Majesty.
well, it'd be more work
Right?
for me if anything happened to you, that's all. I'm busy enough as it is. Can't afford to take on more issues.
Well then, I'll do my best not to add to your problems.
I doubt you'll need to try that hard. You do a decent enough job of supporting folks already. So, keep up the good work and maybe I'll lend you a hand someday. You know, if you need it.
Thanks, Felix. I'll be counting on you.
We already did Felix Sylvain C, so moving on to A.
There you are, Felix. Why didn't you tell me?
You might say a lot of harsh
Tell you
things,
what.
but you can never bring yourself to abandon someone.
About the fight
Just
we got
like
into
with
the other
that
day
cat
with
you
those
adopted.
soldiers.
Leave him out of this.
That. Don't worry, I won't do it again.
One of my men told me the whole story of what actually went down. Apparently, one of your soldiers was mocking the heir of House Gautier, who just so happens to be me. And he started getting into it with everyone else, which is when you decided to jump in.
Worst decision of my life. But like I said, I'm done with all that. I only stepped in because I thought it was my responsibility to make my men see sense. But my fists tend to move faster than my brain, as I'm sure you know.
I'm very well aware. Still, I'm curious why you didn't tell me everything right away.
Because he said some really nasty stuff about you. I didn't want your delicate ears dropping off in horror.
Okay, now I'm even more curious. Anyway,
Felix isn't about to let someone
sorry for
else
tearing into
badmouth a
you
fellow
without knowing
bench
the full
warmer.
story.
Yeah.
No, I'm the one who should apologize. I can't let personal life influence business. Even if it does concern you.
You shouldn't worry about it. People speaking poorly about me is something of a regular occurrence. And honestly, I deserve every last bit of it. I was a real scoundrel in my younger days. Caused a whole lot of people a whole lot of headaches. That kind of talk isn't your fault or your soldier's fault. The blame lies squarely with the man I used to be.
So, why didn't you do something about that man when you were younger?
It was just... I had to be that way, you know? I had to play the part of the flippant, carefree rogue because... Anyway, look, I know I'm a real piece of work, but that's just me being me.
Fine. Perhaps you do deserve to be made fun of. But I still won't stand it coming from a bunch of curs who don't know a single thing about you. You may not have the title of Margrave yet, but you still make yourself pretty useful. I've seen how you've helped the boar, and I guess how you help me too.
Wow, Felix, that's...
I see why so many people
Wow.
ship the two of them
Oh
together.
boy. I think someone's cutting onions in here.
I don't.
Be quiet. Can't you listen to someone for 2 seconds without opening your fat mouth and completely ruining the moment? You always have been too smart and too loud for your own good, even if no one can match you in military tactics or domestic affairs. It's like you said, we've got problems piling up both inside and out of the kingdom. But with you around, we might just be able to see our way clear of it.
That's a lot of problems to pile on one person, especially when he isn't half as great as you're implying. I mean, I might be, say, 7% more cunning than you, but that's pretty much it. If we really want to be useful to Fargus and Dimitri, we need to work together, so we can balance out each other's weaknesses.
I suppose that's true. In which case, I guess I'm counting on you. I may even need you. Maybe. Besides, I'd be stuck with nothing but miserably dour folks without you around. I'm not sure I could handle it.
You don't have to tell me twice, old friend. I'll always be there for you. I promise.
The one person Felix is openly nice to. The benchwarmers have to stick together after all. Whoops. Damn you, Switch.
Annette, how does that song about the dancing swamp beasties end?
It wasn't swamp beasties, it was bears. A song about dancing swamp beasties wouldn't be nearly as cute.
It was supposed to be cute? Anyway, I'd never heard a song like that before, and now I can't get it out of my head.
Wait, really? Wow, I'm flattered. But it's not like I can make up the rest of it on the spot. Why don't you go see an opera or something? Get a better song stuck up in there.
Ouch. She has a low
Yeah, I don't
opinion of
know.
her own work.
Guess I've been interested in seeing an opera in the past, but I've never gone.
Now that you mention it, I don't know if they even perform opera in Fargus. But the church is in Camulus now, and they have volunteers who put on operas every now and then. I've been helping Dorothea and the others there, and it's really expanded my repertoire of songs.
Well then, sing one for me. Just belt out whatever pops into your head.
You got it. I'll sing you my favorite. Me, me, me. A shimmering life burns down to ash. Then since I'm all hot and sweaty, I hop in the bath.
Oh, Annie.
Soon I get real dizzy, which puts me in a tizzy. But eventually I feel way, 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 way better. So I decide to hop back in the bath again. Whew.
Annette's a prune person, confirmed.
You take baths when you're already hot? That's some impressive fortitude. I think I underestimated you.
Oh.
Wait, but then you get back in the bath even though it made you dizzy. You must seriously love bathing. Well, this has been fascinating. I had no idea operas could have such unexpected developments.
Operas aren't like that at all. That's just an aria I learned a long time ago, and I don't even really remember the words. It wasn't supposed to be a song about taking a bath. It was supposed to be serious.
Wait, really? That's much less interesting.
No, you don't... Look, a real opera is much better, all right? I'll take you to one sometime, and you'll see. It'll take your breath away when you hear it. I bet you'll fall head over heels in love.
Fine. But let's save it until the war's over. If it's really that good, I want to make sure I give it my full attention.
Then we're definitely going to see an opera. It's a promise.
Cat loves food. Yeah. What was that you just said, Felix? Oh, you heard nothing. Goddamn song. Can't get out of my head already.
Finished giving your report?
Yes. I hope you were not waiting too long. Did you need me for something?
Need is a strong word. I just wanted to commend you. I heard that last fight was brutal, but you made it out alive.
Please, she slaughtered
None of us
half the
expected it to
battlefield if
evolve
we know
into
our
such an
Ingrid.
arduous battle. We were only supposed to be dealing with some bandits.
So you weren't injured?
Especially now that Lewin fires
I'm
pillars
fine.
of fire
So was
at
everyone
people.
else in the unit, thankfully. Though even in the darkest moments, I never lost hope. All thanks to this.
My brother's spur. You're telling me that hunk of steel helped you?
Perhaps not in a practical sense, but it certainly bolstered my spirits. This spur symbolizes Glenn's pride and sense of duty, things he fought for to his dying breath.
I'm not a big fan of
I
the way she
couldn't very
pronounced
well give
Glenn
up while
there
I
as
carried
Glyn.
something with that much meaning. It gave me the courage to keep fighting.
I don't get it. It's all well and good to remember the dead, but sentimentality will get you killed.
Counterpoint,
All
sentimentality
the
kept her
tears in the
alive.
world couldn't bring them
Yeah.
back after all.
You have always viewed the world in such stark terms. It might even be one of your strengths. But one day, you will learn that emotions and sentimentality are also a strength, not a curse.
So the dead can help the living? Interesting idea.
Ingrid could have
Can we
slaughtered the
continue this
entire
later?
battlefield, and that was
think
before
I
her
have
main
earned a good
hand
night's
spear shot baloney-infused fire pillars,
Ingrid,
and her new
wait.
offhand lance could topple
Will
a
you
building.
do
She's a
something for me?
blender now.
I'm listening.
Go visit my brother. This war shows no signs
Go
of
visit
stopping.
your brother. He's dead.
Which means you have plenty of battles ahead of you. And if you're so certain the dead can help the living, it couldn't hurt to offer him some flowers.
You want me to go to Glenn's? I mean, of course. But you should join me. And perhaps His Majesty as well. And even Lord Rodrigue, Sylvain, Sir Gustav, everyone.
Everyone?
Are you planning to host an entire banquet at his gravestone?
Clearly, she should
That
just
was
go
not
talk
my
to the
original
imaginary Glenn
intention,
that lives
but
in
now that you
Dimitri's
mention it,
crazy
a
head.
festive meal might be nice. We could all use a little relaxation, and Glenn always preferred a joyous atmosphere to a somber one.
Fine, just don't die before then, okay? Anyway, I'm keeping you. Go get something to eat and get some rest.
Oh, I thought that was like a possession thing
I
for
will
a
do
second.
just that.
Right?
Anyway, I'm
Thank you,
keeping you.
Felix.
You're mine now. Thanks.
Like, especially because, and I don't know if anyone other than me remembers this movie,
I don't remember this movie.
but the Casper movie with the live action humans and the CGI ghosts, where on Halloween Casper briefly becomes human so that they can dance.
Oh no, that movie. I do remember that. It was a terrible movie.
One of the weird things that got said in that movie, and anytime I hear somebody say "I'm keeping you" or "Can I keep you," just flashes me back to that weird moment during the dance.
Can I keep you?
I'm like, holy shit.
Dimitri, Sylvain, Sir Rodrigue. We'll bring everyone. What about Sir Gustav then? What about Annie's dad, Felix?
Anybody else that's still in chat? Does anybody other than Edu and I remember that movie?
It might have been a fever dream.
I mean, you and I do have a lot of shared delusion fever.
Sit down, Felix.
Weird
make
things
this
from
quick?
history
I'm
only the
busy.
two of us ever seem to remember.
For once, would you please just... No, not today. The truth is, I think it's time we sat down and talked. Neither of us know which day could be our last, so we should both ensure there's no lingering regret when the time
So
comes.
this is gonna be one of those happy talks, huh?
Well, this is off to a grim start.
Yeah, thank you.
So, what is it you want to talk about?
I remember
I
that
wanted
Gasper
to
didn't even get the
apologize for
proper
what I said about
midnight
Glenn.
timer for his magic
was input,
transformation
and
since
I'm
children
sorry.
aren't allowed to stay up past like 8 p.m.
I think it was 10 p.m. Bio. I think it was Casper had till
I
10.
should never have said such a thing in your presence.
But you know what's funny?
No, it was probably more like
If you're
7:30.
going to explain
But you know what's
yourself,
funny? Is Cinderella is
suppose
also
I
a
can
kids
make the time
movie,
to hear
and that
you
was
out.
when the clock strikes midnight.
Yeah, but she was not a child,
Then I will not mince words.
Fair.
I too
according
was
to the
mortified by
movie.
Glenn's
Anyway, I'm
death.
pretty sure she was like 15.
Yeah, I was about
Yet
to
he
say, I think
perished a
her
hero.
actual like
He
listed
chose
age
that
with
life
Disney
for
is like
himself,
14 or 15.
and he chose that death.
She's not
he
the
fought to
youngest
protect
of the
the
Disney
future of
princesses. I
Fargus
think that
and
honor
his
still
friend
goes to Snow
until his
White,
dying breath.
who I think was like
As his father,
13.
I felt I had to acknowledge that choice.
And how are you so sure it was his choice? Neither of us really knows what he was thinking.
I asked him.
The boar might have an inkling, but all he goes on about is how he caused Glenn's death.
You're right. I don't know for certain. But I know what I would have done had I been there. And you, Felix? What would your choice have been? Would you have abandoned His Majesty to save yourself? Or would you have chosen to fight until death claimed you? I myself would have safeguarded His Majesty at all costs. I know that it wasn't in Glenn's nature to flee either.
It's always about courage or cowardice with you. I wouldn't have chosen anything. When your life's on the line, you don't have time to think about that stuff. Only act. I would have fought with my own will, in whatever way I thought best. And I would have made sure we both survived.
You always want to have it both ways. Still,
Felix
I take
over here
pride in
trying
that
to be
determination of
Lloyd.
yours.
We'll just save every person
Had I
standing in
been
front of
there,
us.
I doubt
What's
I
the
could
point
have
of going
summoned
on a journey
resolve
of
to
world
strive for such a
regeneration?
victory.
We can't save the people who
More
are right
likely.
in front of us.
I would have been satisfied merely to die in the defense of my liege.
You know how that ends, Felix? Let me
I
tell
can
you how that
understand that
ends.
way of
You
thinking.
have to murder
In
one of
fact,
your friends. That's
I
how
always
it
have.
ends.
Yep.
But I still couldn't
Idealism
stomach
just
Glenn's
makes
death
you a
being
friend
glorified.
murderer. And then you go
And
on to be
I'm
a
sorry for
massive
that, Felix.
douchebag in a second
Truly.
game for no adequately explored reason.
And
I
I'm
love
glad we
that
talked.
if you'd played the original,
Also, you said you shouldn't leave regrets behind,
if you'd
so
played the original Tales of Symphonia,
I'm sorry too for hitting you,
you
back then. I
you
knew.
screw yourself out of the
I'm
good
sorry,
ending
Father.
immediately because of your
You know,
like
I'd almost
residual
forgotten
affection
about
for
that.
Lloyd.
It hurt, too. More than any blow I received
Because
in
you
battle.
instantly lose the the good
Oh,
ending
shut
if you
up. I
don't
said
tell
I
the
was
people
sorry.
at the Statue of Lloyd
Now,
to
if
fuck
we're done
off.
here, I'm leaving.
Like,
I don't know. If I were there, I just wouldn't have died, personally. It was a real skill issue on Glenn's part. Felix. I mean, basically, yes. Good talk.
Go ahead.
Oh boy! But wait, if I eat that, what are you gonna eat?
I'll buy something from one of the merchants outside.
But that costs money!
I'm a duke.
This is my second helping.
yep.
Or maybe third. I can't remember.
Anyway, if anyone's gonna be paying for extra food,
Well, if
it
you
should
played
be
the
me.
first game, then you'd also probably
In that
already
case,
know
I'll
that
take you
Lloyd
up on-
kinda wouldn't have wanted a bunch of assholes to start worshipping him as if he were some kind of god or
that
some
thunder?
shit.
I mean, fair, but
Yeah, but
Nope.
you'd have also
stop it.
been wondering what the
Sorry,
fuck
Scary.
because you just watched Lloyd murder an
I
entire
tell ya, I
town, which
can't
is
wait for this
also
war to be
not,
over
you
so
know,
I can eat as
in
much
Lloyd's
as I want.
wheelhouse.
yeah.
Look,
I suppose that's
skipping
also
a full
fair.
portion won't kill me. Why don't you take half?
Wow, you mean it?
All I'm saying is Zillia 2 handles the characters from the original game
Meat
so much better than Symphonia
Is
2.
that me?
Symphonia 2 just makes them all
Yeah,
one-dimensional
You love it as much
memes.
as I do.
Caricatures
makes
of
us
themselves.
Literally, yes.
Whatever you say.
Whereas, like, Zillia 2 just kind of expands
Hey,
on them.
I've
Although
got
it does
an
make them
idea.
all super
If
mega
there
best
isn't
friends
enough
with
to go
Luger
around,
instantly on
we
New
should go
Game Plus,
hunting.
which is really funny.
That way everyone can have their
As soon
fill.
as Jude joins your party, you get like 4 skits back to
That's
back where he says how
actually
Luger
not a
is like
bad
his
idea.
best friend in the whole world when they just met
I
5
know.
seconds
Come
ago.
on, we'll hit up the nearby forest. Petra says there's a ton of game there.
Lloyd wouldn't murder an entire village.
Just so
He'd just have a
happens I
magic
some
tree
free
do
time
it
on my
for him
hands.
instead.
So let me finish my lunch and I'll be ready.
All right, meat buddies are unstoppable.
Meat buddies.
Wait, you
Meet
forgot your food.
buddies.
That's a phrase.
It really is
You
something.
get caught up in the meat buddies.
That phrase just bothers me.
Oh, what's wrong with meat buddies?
Meat buddies just sounds to me very like adjacent to something being a sausage fest, which is another phrase I'm not super fond of. In just the English vernacular, it's just
Of all the people I'd have expected Felix to get a support conversation with, Raph definitely wasn't one of them.
right.
You're
Yeah,
really
but they're meat
eyeballing that
buddies.
giant stack of documents there, Ash. Let me see what you've got.
Ugh.
Records of military drills, archives of city taxes. You know, if you're searching for a particular needle in this load of hay, I can help you out.
Oh, I'm not looking for anything specific. I just thought they'd be good to study.
You're going to study all this?
Yeah. With the academy closed, I haven't had a chance to focus on learning lately.
You know, I
So,
saw something.
I thought I could give
the
my
start of
brain a
this
nice workout
conversation
by
reminded me of
reading
this.
old
I saw
records
something
and
online the other
archives.
day where somebody was like,
Hey,
does anybody
good
else
for you
remember
taking the
when we
initiative.
were kids and we'd like started a
If it weren't
conversation
for
with
all this
Hay
fighting,
and all
you
the
and
old
me would be
people in their
living a
lives who were trying to
schoolboy's
teach
dream
us to
right about
talk
now.
proper were like, hay is for horses.
Right. We could be
Different
trained together
haze.
and taking
Well,
classes
here
on
we are
history
still
and
doing it and they're all
magic.
dead, so I guess we win.
And when the ethereal
Wow,
man comes,
that's
we go
an
dancing
approach.
with all
Yeah,
the girls
right?
at the ball.
Thanks, Reddit.
That's not quite what I had in mind.
So,
Wow.
are those records actually helping you?
That is not where I thought you were gonna go with
The ones
that.
on
That's not
old
where I thought
military
Reddit was
drills
gonna
are
go with
especially
that.
Interesting. It's fun just looking at them.
Just looking, huh? You
Like-
might want to read a little deeper there.
Respectfully.
I mean, take this one for example.
That is so
It talks about
tremendously
how
not
the
where
three
I thought
northern
that was
houses held a
going.
joint exercise
Yeah, I
in
know, me too.
1166. And apparently they did so in the middle of a raging blizzard. It was so bad that some of their soldiers died, but they went
A
ahead
horrible
and
thing to
did it
say, but
anyway.
not in any way inaccurate. Yeah, that's Reddit for you.
Snow in
Says a bunch of horrible shit
1166.
that is in no way inaccurate.
Also,
Were they
our
trying to
parents told
prepare
us
for a confrontation with Shrek?
used to use the hay is for horses, and they're
Nailed it.
still
They
alive.
were training for the northern conquest they carried out a few years later.
I don't remember them ever really
In other
doing
words, they'd already
Not
decided to try
as
and take the
often,
north
but
by
they definitely did it
1166.
at, like, bare minimum, Dad
So
did it
if you
at
look
least
at the other drills during that
once.
time, you might be able to piece together what the late king was thinking.
Interesting. You know, another document did mention an exercise.
I mean, we never
conducted
tried to
in
turn it
Gwynedd.
around to them and just start conversations instead of
Because
saying,
they'd
hey,
already
with
predicted
horses.
that Shrine forces would cross the
I
mountains.
was like, horses, Grandpa!
battling in harsh
they,
desert terrain.
they wouldn't have gotten that.
And that's
Horses
why
is for
they
hay-
were
wait, what?
forbidden from using horses during that drill. It's amazing how you
Man, why couldn't
really
we have been
start to
clever
see
as
the
kids? That
bigger
would have been
picture when
great.
you dig into
It's like, okay, well,
details
fine.
like
I won't
that.
start conversations with, hey, horses, Grandpa.
And that's why keeping
We
records
were
is so
clever
important.
for
Anyway,
kids.
I've probably
We
bothered
just
you
weren't
No, we
clever
weren't part
as...
of 4Kids. 4Kids was an entertainment company.
I
that did,
knew
like,
that was coming as soon as I
Pokemon
said it.
and Yu-Gi-Oh! And
If you really
and,
wanna
fighting
learn, you're better off
Foodons.
asking an actual professor
Wings
type.
Club for a while,
I'm
too.
just. You know,
they had One Piece
Sylvain.
for a while, too.
Cartoon Network and then Nickelodeon
No,
and
you're
then
a
Disney
great
bought it
teacher,
from them.
and I can always ask them things when we're in the.
They also
capital,
had
but
Witch,
they
which
won't
was
be
a
around when we're on the
massively
march.
underrated show.
Oh, they did have Witch
I
Witch,
just
that's
want
right.
to learn more so I don't embarrass the other knights.
Some people
Please?
realize, you know, I kind of sound like an
No, not the
asshole for
puppy
trying to
dog
correct my
eyes.
kid on something that doesn't
Oh,
actually
fine,
matter.
I'll
And then
help
some
you,
people
but
don't.
expect too much.
You just gotta, you know, counter them. Just be like, horses!
I mean, I correct students in my school building all the time on, like, stupid shit that they say. My favorite is that the default pronoun, and I'm putting that in air quotes, that the kids in my building use for everyone is bruh. And I'm like, no, I'm not your bruh.
Bruh.
I'm
Bruh.
like, I'm Miss Sarah.
No, hear me out here, bruh. It's a completely acceptable pronoun.
It's not, and
It
it
is
the pronoun they use for everyone.
What you have to understand, though, is by you saying that's not an acceptable pronoun, you are being exclusionist, you're being judgmental, you're not being open-minded, and you're being discriminatory.
I'm not telling them they can't use the term
You are,
period.
though.
I'm
You're
telling them they
literally
cannot use
telling
it
them
for
that.
me because they don't get to decide my pronouns.
That sounds like a skill issue on your part.
Bruh is not my pronoun.
Bruh, calm down.
Correcting people is also kind of your job, to be fair. True. Yeah.
So, by
Don't worry about it,
stationing
bruh.
themselves in the bog, they were able to
BRUH
slow the
is
advance
typically
of the
how
enemy
it's
horses.
spelled when the kids write it.
Yeah, no kidding.
Exactly. But Luke's army was prepared in other ways too.
Sarge is just over here talking about lingerie instead.
So that's
all
the
groundwork
thing.
is
Like
what
one
led
of
them
the
to victory.
teachers in my building, their husband
It's
owns a
strange how
t-shirt
the
press
stories of
company.
King Luke don't go
So
into much detail
genuinely,
about
a lot of the
Like a company that just has a big
Once you
hydraulic
dig a
press
bit,
and crushes
you
t-shirts.
realize
that
he
do
was
like
a
the vinyl
really
pressing for
talented
images onto
tactician.
t-shirts.
Like
That's
they,
the
like they
process
take a
called
piece of
t-shirt
flooring
press.
and like
Anyway,
like
Do you
compress it
think we
into.
could use this strategy in an upcoming battle?
Brazier.
I know
Well,
we can't do
Brazier.
the exact same thing, but in that
but-
geography book you recommended to me
Flaming
before,
Braziers and Fendelver.
Yeah.
Where have you been hiding this
But,
talent? You're absorbing everything I
Back to
teach
my
you like a
point,
sponge.
there's a t-shirt
I
that
can
a
see
bunch
why
of the
Lord
teachers
Lonato
in
had
our
such
building
faith in
have
you.
custom ordered from her husband that says,
Oh,
bruh,
it's
did you
not
even read
bad.
the assignment?
you're just a really good teacher.
Still can't believe someone in this universe actually
Even
named their
taking
kid
that to be
Luke.
true,
They
you're
must have
clearly an
hated their
exceptional
kid,
student.
right?
You will clearly.
I'm actually sort of jealous that Dimitri gets a great knight like you by his side. I'd love
Well,
to
it was
find
better
some
than
reason
naming
to
their
steal
kid
you away
Brah.
to my territory after the war.
Hello, I'm King
Don't
Bruh.
joke like that, Sylvain. I serve His Majesty alone.
Dude, bruh.
Ooh,
Dude is
shut
another great
down.
pronoun.
But yeah, I get it.
Miss S, bruh,
Still,
nope.
Are you really
Stop,
gonna
you're
devote your
right
entire
there.
life to being a
Ah, you're
royal
right. We'll
knight?
just call you Miss
To live
Bruh.
and die in Ferdiad?
Bruh S.
That was my
I
initial idea.
literally,
but
like,
I had
as
a talk
soon
with
as
His
this...
Majesty
and
recently that made me reconsider.
Our 8th graders have started realizing I'm doing
He
it to
asked
them.
if I wanted to succeed
As soon as
Renato
they call,
and
they
take
refer to
over
me
Castle Gaspar
in a
after the
sentence or a
war.
statement as bruh, I walk away.
Castle
And
Gaspar,
they
huh?
can call me back
Makes
over and
sense.
restart the
Adopted or not,
conversation
you are
later.
Lord Lonato's heir.
Like, nope, I'm done.
I
Dude,
thought the
calm
townspeople
down, dude,
would be
bruh.
very
It's not a
accepting of me
problem.
after I allowed him to
Well,
die.
the thing is, at this point, they've started correcting
But
each other when
I'm
it
still the only
happens,
one capable
which
of
is
taking on the
my
job.
favorite thing is when the
Or
kids
at
correct
least
each
that's
other
how
on
I like to
behavior,
think of it.
if they do it politely.
I think
Sounds
the
like a
best way to
huge
do that
responsibility, all
would be
right.
for the other kid to just look
Definitely
at the
can't
first kid
ask
and
you
go,
to come to House
bruh.
Gautier in that
Sometimes that is the way they handle that, yes.
That land meant everything to Renato.
And the thing is, I don't
would do
care if they
anything to
refer to
protect it.
each other that way. But
want
they
to
don't
help
get to
other
refer to
people the
me
same way
or
he
another
helped me.
adult that way.
And I think I'm finally strong enough to do that now.
See, they're just using a neutral pronoun because they're
I
trying
shouldn't
not
have
to
expected
assume
as much.
yours.
But hey, if that's what you want to do, I've got your
Literally,
back.
my work lanyard has
A
a
little
pin on it
education
with
can
my
be handy
pronouns.
for
They
night,
can't
but
read.
castle lords need to learn
Valid
everything they
point.
can get their hands on.
Very
So
valid
let me know
point.
if you ever need old Teach to fill your little head full of
Expecting
info.
them
and
to
I'll come running.
read? Bruh.
Sheesh, listen to me.
Bio,
your
yes.
serious
Convince the
nature is
kids to start a
contagious.
grammar war amongst themselves.
You
It's
joke,
the only
but
way to
I
get them
think
to
you've
learn.
always been
Yes,
a serious
yes,
person
it
deep
is.
down.
True story.
You're an intelligent
Especially
man
in my
who's
building, they
Or
only
they'll
learn
just
through
invent
violence.
new grammar.
Also
I
that.
mean, aside from the way you acted back at the academy.
What is grammar? My kids don't
the
know what that
unkindness
is.
cut.
Bruh.
Completely accurate, but still.
I'm excited to learn everything I can from you, Sylvain. I really am.
Sarge, you missed Brosidon, King of the Brotians, by the way?
Grammar isn't real, and neither is reading. Isn't that right, Violet?
You saw one too. Glad it wasn't just me.
Grammar is just a
There
construct
you are, Ash.
that is
I've been worried sick about
used
you.
to, like,
You were white as a sheet
you
during
know,
our training
indoctrinate
earlier,
people.
and I was
It
concerned
is
you had taken ill.
functionally irrelevant.
I mean,
The-
language is
I'm
also
sure
a
that was
social
all just in your
construct.
head.
Again, the point of like
That's
the
not
point
your
of
usual
language
carefree
is
smile.
to
Communication.
communicate ideas.
I
And
guess
as
I
long
can't
as
hide
those
anything
ideas
from
are
you,
being
huh?
effectively communicated, there's
Truth
nothing
is,
wrong
I
with
turned
your
my
grammar.
ankle during
Like
practice.
if the
Thankfully,
idea is
it's
coming
all
across
right,
clearly, you don't need to
Well,
fix your grammar. You're
It reminded me
communicating
of the
just
time I
fine.
saw a ghost.
It's only
I was a
when
little
communications
kid.
break down because two people aren't
Wait,
talking
a
the
proper
same,
ghost?
you know, language at each
Oh,
other.
What did it look like? Did it say
You know,
anything?
in a way
What
that
was it
both can
wearing?
understand that you run into an issue.
Oh
I
dear.
mean,
I'm
so
sorry.
one of
I let
the-
myself get
one of my
carried away
favorite
there.
parents to interact
I
with
understand
in my
if you
after
don't
school
want to
program
talk about it.
is
No, it's all right. I
the
can't let
parent
myself
themselves
live in
doesn't
fear
speak
of it
English.
forever.
They speak Spanish.
So on that
they
day, my
can
brother took sick with a
comprehend
fever,
basic English,
And I went into the mountains to
but
look
they
for
don't
medicinal
speak it, or at
herbs.
least they're not comfortable speaking it to native
As I
speakers of
was
English.
walking along some
I'm
unstable ground,
somewhat
I
similar
saw a
when it comes
large
to Spanish.
figure in the fog.
Like, I can speak Spanish decently
sure there wasn't
with people
anyone
I'm
else on the
comfortable
mountain with you
speaking
that
Spanish
day?
around. But for the most
Yeah,
part,
I
unless
was
I've worked up
definitely
to being
alone
comfortable
there.
speaking in Spanish
Plus,
with a
when I
native
tried
speaker of the
saying hello,
language, I
the
generally
figure
won't
didn't
do it.
answer.
So genuinely, the way I
I knew then and there
communicate
it was a
with this
ghost.
parent
And in
about
my
their
hurry to
child
escape, my
is
foot
either
slipped,
through text
and I
messages where I
turned
will
my
text
ankle.
them in Spanish, or if
Well,
we're
it's
face to
important
face
to be careful
communicating,
about where you
they will
step.
speak in Spanish, usually
Wait,
rapid
that's
fire
your
Spanish,
takeaway?
and I will
The
speak
story
in
doesn't
very
scare you at
slow,
all?
very enunciated English because
Not
that is what
really.
they need.
If I'm honest, I heard a similar tale some time back.
It's
A long time ago.
It's
a man on a
interesting, and other
pilgrimage saw a
people, when they
strange,
come
shadowy
across us having
figure
those
deep in the
conversations,
Altima Mountains.
get really confused, and
He
I'm like,
panicked and
well,
began
it's
to
effective
scream,
communication if
thinking
we
it a
both
ghost
understand
or
each
some
other.
other manner of evil omen. But
No.
in truth, it was none
Ash,
of
why
those
even bother
things.
trying to lie? We all know you're terrible at it.
Wait, so if it wasn't a ghost,
Meanwhile,
was
somewhere
it?
in Alliance territory, Lysithia is screaming right
It
now.
was his own shadow.
Nah, it's
reflected in
fine.
the
She's Bappy.
what?
No,
Then
she's
maybe
not,
what I
because
saw was-
Serial's here.
I can't say for certain, but it may have simply been a trick of the light.
We might not be able to use him as a unit, which I still think is
Gosh, I
bullshit,
feel silly
by
for being
the
afraid of my
way.
own
That's the
shadow
like
for so
bullshit
many
we
years.
can't use Lysithia.
It's quite
Well, you
understandable.
can on
for you
other
to
routes.
mistake
This
it
is
for
the
a
only
ghost.
route you should, in
Especially
theory,
since
be
you
able to
hadn't heard
use
the
Serial
story
as a
about the
unit, and you
shadowy
can't.
figure.
Thanks,
The game's like, we'll
Mercedes.
put him on some of the
That
maps
makes me
and
feel a
like
lot
make him a
better.
green unit, but we're
Hey,
not gonna
but if you
actually
have
let you
time,
control
You should
him,
listen to
though.
this
I mean,
guy's
this is
story.
also the only route where you should be able to control Rhea,
Sorry.
but you can't.
Whose story?
Also true.
This guy right here. Apparently, he saw a real ghost a long time ago.
What guy, Ash? There's nobody there.
Ash? You are the only other person here.
What? Come on. He's standing right next... Huh?
Look, Claude gave us
You were
one of his
alone
good
when I
people. He
found
wasn't
you.
stupid enough to give us both of them.
Wait, so you never saw him? What does that mean? Was he,
Spooky ghost, yes, indeed.
That we never get a resolution to.
Nope.
What lovely weather. Morning walks really are the best.
Quick, sing another ridiculous song, Annie.
Hmm?
The
Is
best
that
part of your
Ash?
social links.
Yep.
Or get trapped in a really
thought
dark
it was
room
you.
and need
What
to
are you doing
scala
out and
blast your
about
way
so
out.
early?
That's always fun.
Morning, Annette.
Clearly that was just Mercy.
I've been
people
teaching
working
some of
together
the
to prank
townspeople
Ash.
how to read and write, as well as some basic math skills. We were all so into it, we didn't notice the time slipping away, and now... it's suddenly
What a
morning.
nerd. He spent all night studying
Wow,
math.
that's so good of you, Ash.
Right?
What made you decide to do that?
When I went into town earlier, I found a merchant selling medicine at outrageous prices.
Cough, cough, Anna, cough.
But people were all snapping it up without even questioning it. Well, I couldn't
I'm
just stand by
Anna,
and
the
watch it happen.
mysterious
So I called a
merchant.
couple folks over to show them the map.
Hate that version of Anna.
A few more people came over, and then a few more.
If I
And before I
win,
knew
you'd
it,
better
I found
buy
myself becoming their
something.
teacher.
I mean, I get that you have a
That
thing
is
for,
so
like,
you.
lolly
Seriously,
characters,
It's,
but...
it's Monica
amazing.
Real, is what it is. Like, it's
If you
that
ever
she's
decide
voiced
to
by
break out
Monica.
the chalk again,
But
I'd
I
love to
really
help.
do prefer Three Houses.
No.
Anna.
You can handle
absolutely
reading
not.
and math and stuff. And I'll teach him
Absolutely
magic and
not.
history.
Really? That would be great. I enjoy studying a lot, but I don't think I'm very good at actually
Someone out of
instructing
all these
people.
kids needs to actually take their education
Well,
seriously.
they are two completely different things.
Yeah, I suppose.
Speaking of which, didn't Lord Lonato teach you your letters and numbers?
Yes.
Do
although my
we need to
father
bring
showed
up
me some
Lord
basic
Lonato,
arithmetic
Annie?
as well.
Like,
Lonato always used to say that study is the path to one's own morality.
And then I killed him.
What does that mean?
Well, there's no universal rules for what's right and what's wrong, you know?
Yes, there are.
So you
Byleth.
have to find your own morality.
Byleth is the
something
universal
you can
rules.
believe in and stick to, no matter what.
And if you disagree with Byleth's
He also
morality,
said
you're
a
wrong.
person needs knowledge and education to make that happen.
I suppose knowledge does grant the power to make sound judgments. I mean, I saw everything differently once I started attending the School of Sorcery and the Officers' Academy.
Most of the people here lack the means to attend such institutions, but they still contend with danger and lies on a daily basis. I want to give them the tools to see their way clear of that. So, I guess that's why I'm teaching them. I want to meet them as an equal, not as a Knight of Fargus, but as someone who knows exactly what they're going through.
Leonardo taught you
That's
numbers and how to
incredible,
read, right?
Ash. I
Annie,
think I
with
can
how
learn a thing
little
or two
shit
from you,
Ash's
too.
dad actually told him, I wouldn't be surprised if Ash just figured that shit out on his own.
Hey, Ash, listen to this.
What's got you so excited, Annette?
Remember Odette, the flower peddler we taught how to read and write? Well, apparently, the School of Sorcery thought she had talent, and they accepted her as a student.
Wow, that's impressive. The School of Sorcery isn't easy to get into.
Right? I'm so glad we took the time to teach everyone.
It's strange to think that someone I helped is going to study under those teachers. Strange, but also great.
Speaking of the teachers, there's something I need to tell you. I had another reason for wanting to help you instruct the villagers.
Oh? What's that?
When I was younger, I wanted to be a teacher at the School of Sorcery. It didn't even have to be that school necessarily. I just wanted to make a living as an instructor somewhere. And when I started teaching some of the townspeople
I mean,
here
I
with
assume you
it
could get a
was so much
nepotism
fun.
position at Garrick Mach.
You did seem to be enjoying yourself.
I know, right? My favorite part was when someone would have that aha moment and their face would just light up. It really made all the time I'd spent studying feel worth it.
You're a great teacher, Annette. I think it's your calling, honestly. I've never seen anyone so patient with people when they're struggling to understand. If you ask me, you should become a full-fledged professor. I'd love to study under an instructor like you.
Oh gosh, you're making me blush. But if you really think that, then I'm gonna go for it. But that means I need to hit the books. Oh, and probably chat with some of the teachers at the School of Sorcery.
If there's anything I can do to help, just let me know.
No way, mister. You have your own dream to pursue. I mean, you want to become a world-renowned knight, right?
Well, sure. But you've helped me so much, I feel like I need to return the favor. Besides, you're a citizen of Fargus, and it's a knight's job to help the people.
I love how focused you are on that dream. It's almost silly, because you're already the greatest knight I know.
Oh, that sounds like a lie.
Okay, I'm off to borrow some books from the capital, but maybe I'll ask for your help after that. Oh, and if we ever get the chance, I'd love to
Have you
visit
tried
Garrick
just
Mach's
having your
library.
relative run the place? Worked wonders for me getting
If you
my
wouldn't
old
mind going
job.
with me, that is.
You can count on me.
Thanks. Just you watch, Ash. I'll be a real professor before you know it.
Alright, Ash and Ingrid.
I'll be back in just a minute.
What's wrong, Ingrid? You look troubled.
Oh no, it is nothing. Don't worry about it.
It has to be something if you're just standing there staring off into space. You can always talk to me, you know. I might not be much help, but...
It's this land. It is so fertile. I cannot help but be amazed.
It is an unusually bountiful region for Fargus, and a beautiful one at that. It doesn't have nearly as much snow as the north, and multiple rivers flow
Just you
through
wait,
it.
Ash. I'll be a real professor before
I
you
could
know
scarce
it.
take my eyes off of
Why
that
did you
wheat
put so
field
much
we
emphasis
passed
on the
earlier.
real part?
My home does not have anything as lovely as that. It's nothing but a barren, rocky wasteland, and the soil we do have is so poor even the weeds disdain it. We have tilled the ground, removed rocks, and sowed seeds in hopes that our descendants might one day benefit, but... Well, who knows how long it would take for us to have large, fruitful fields like the ones here.
Our blood, sweat, and tears will drench the land, serving as nourishment for those who come long after. You may not accomplish it in your lifetime, but the effort will definitely pay off down the road. Or, that's what I think, at least.
Those are the words of King Lug, yes? From Lug and the Maiden of Wind.
Why
That
does
is one of my
Ingrid keep
favorites.
sounding so much like a robot in her support scenes? Voice
hearing you
direction
talk
for her
about your
just feels
homeland
off.
actually reminded me of
Yeah,
another
it's
part.
kind of odd, right?
At one point, it uses the phrase, barren as the land of Dagda. I'm sure it's just some term the poets created long after
Ingrid is
Lug,
just
but
kind of,
it got me curious.
um,
So I went and tracked down a travel
she's
journal
channeling
about Dagda.
Flame in her supports, I guess.
I haven't read many travel journals. What did it say?
It spoke of a crop that grew easily, even in their infertile soil. Apparently,
And
it's
it is
really
a shame that
filling
this is
and
kind of
tastes
the way
amazing
Ingrid
when
comes across
boiled
in
or
most of her
baked.
supports.
It
Considering
sounds too
that
good to be true.
The supports we're going to be
Like a
showing
crop
you
out
guys
of a
for
fairy
Ingrid are
tale.
the only supports she gets because she's only available
Only I knew
on
what
this
it was
route.
called.
Like, we know
Shamir might
Ingrid
be
is
able
fully
to tell you
capable of
more
sounding
about it.
perfectly fine, but for so many of her
My
scenes, they
homeland would
just
greatly benefit from
didn't give her
cultivating
the
a
right
plant like that.
direction.
I can't say for certain if it'll actually grow there, but it's probably worth looking into.
Inflection on that, I can't say
If
for
there's any way I
certain.
can help, just
I
say
thought it was
the
pretty
word.
good.
No.
I am sure a royal knight has better things to do than worry about the problems of House Galatea.
This isn't about my station. I'm just a pal lending a hand. Besides, I grew up poor. I know what it's like to go hungry. No one should ever have to experience that.
Thank you, Ash. In that case, our first task is to look deeper into this miracle crop of yours. I wish we could wait until this war is over, but that would take too long. I want to learn all I can about it as soon as possible. Oh, this is so exciting.
Agreed. Now we just have to survive long enough to uncover its secrets.
Man, the way she sounds just really throws me off. Why did they think making her sound like this was okay? I mean, it's certainly a question.
Mess hall food is just the best!
You're really piling up the plates there, Raphael. You must have been extra hungry.
She definitely
Yeah,
didn't
I
sound
was
like
just
that
out
back in
exercising.
Houses, right? I feel like I'd have
Tastes
remembered
best
if she
after a
did.
long workout.
I mean, we didn't
should
see
tell the chefs
nearly
how
as
much you
many of
enjoyed
her
it.
supports in
I'm
Houses,
sure they'd
to
be
be fair,
pleased.
but
Yeah,
like,
but still.
Will
no,
do.
in general,
You know, I
no, she
opened
did
an inn
not.
myself, and I've been doing the cooking there. Except, I've never gotten a compliment from a customer. Not even once.
So they didn't like it? I wonder why.
I don't know
guess it
why,
just
but
didn't
that
taste very good.
from Raphael at the beginning, it just
Honestly,
reminded me of
I know a
Morta!
lot about cooking, so I had a pretty rough time in the kitchen.
Morta!
Why don't we work on it together?
Some of the ridiculously deep
We may
voice.
not have as many chances to cook here, but I bet we can still find opportunities to hone your skills.
Morta!
One of the best feelings in the world is having someone tell you they enjoyed a meal you created.
Hold on. You're gonna train me? You're the best, Ash!
We'll get started right away. First, let's see you make something so I can get a feel for your skill level.
Also, because I don't think you ever actually played any of Xillia 2, Willow.
Well,
That little girl
how's
right
it
there,
taste?
full name,
Well,
L.
it's not bad
Mel
necessarily, but
Marta.
a huge pile of meat isn't really a meal. It's just...
Yeah, for some reason her last name is just Marta. I don't know why.
Wait.
And it definitely doesn't get confusing that you have Elle
To
and
each his own, I
Elise,
guess.
who is often shorted to Ellie
If
in
you're
the
going
same
to
game.
focus on one
Not
ingredient,
confusing at all,
You have
not
to
a
work
problem.
on your seasonings.
I mean, I can see why they
It just
gave her the
tastes like
last
a
name
slab
of
of
Marta,
bacon
because
wrapped
her
around a
aesthetic
salt
is
lick.
very
Also, try
reminiscent
using some
of-
vegetables for a garnish, if nothing else. A little splash of color will make your dishes
I
more
don't know, she's
appealing
not
to the
wearing
eye.
like, you know, knee-high boots.
Huh. I never thought about how food looked.
Although
That's
she
something
does
my
have
father
about
always
as much of
used
a
to say.
figure as,
If
you know,
flavor is king,
regular Marta,
appearance
although
is the royal
she's
court.
only 8, so she has an excuse.
He's actually the one who taught me
Ouch.
that adding some color with vegetables will make things taste better too.
Well, I guess I could jam a cucumber
Marta,
or something.
why did you say that name?
Help.
I didn't,
You
Raphael.
can't just jam things in without thinking about it, Raphael. You have to prepare them first, then arrange them in a way that's pleasing to the eye. Every ingredient requires careful preparation in order to bring out its true flavor.
She does also have a
okay.
cat, like Marta did.
think I get
Oh,
it.
that's true. She does also have a cat.
For
Well, I mean,
example, try
technically,
seasoning
Luger
meat with
has a
some
cat.
herbs,
She just
then
kind of
boil your
co-opted
vegetables to
him.
remove the bitterness.
She just
After that,
decided it was
pan
her
them out
cat
on the
now.
platter and
well.
Wait.
To be
hang on.
fair, one doesn't
I boiled the
decide
goodness out of
ownership
the
of a
herbs,
cat.
then
The
fired
cat
season?
decides ownership
Oh,
of
wait,
itself.
waterfall?
Rolo
Scream?
does. Rollo doesn't belong to anybody. If you're asking Rollo, he's just
Way
there.
harder than just throwing a hunk of beef
Elle, on the
a
other
plate.
hand, is like, no, that's my cat now, Luger.
Deep breaths, Raphael.
Luger, we gotta go
You
back
can
to your
do this.
apartment because we need to get his scratching
And
pose.
since this whole training thing
Okay,
was my
while we're here, we
idea,
should also get some
I
cat tree.
promise to stick
Oh,
it out
and we
to
should
the
bring his
very
entire
end.
cat tree with us. Oh, but let's
Thanks,
not, don't
Ash.
forget his food, Luger.
With your
He's gonna get
help, I'm
hungry.
gonna
and-
make grub that'll have folks licking
Aw.
their plates.
I love her. She's my favorite character.
Julius had a cat. Luger is just his custodian. Elle is pretty great. Yeah.
What's up, Raphael?
There you are, Ash. Here, sit down.
Why is Raph so quiet in this scene?
Okay.
I don't know.
Now, eat up.
He is atypically
Hey,
quiet.
this is the dish I was teaching you before. Raphael, did you make this yourself?
I didn't do anything to the volume. Raph is just
I sure did.
really quiet
So
here
grab
for
a
some
shovel
reason.
and dig in, cause it's all yours.
Ash over here getting more support conversations with Yuri
I
than
was gonna say,
Bernie's
it was a lot more
zero.
advertising than before. Plus, it smells fantastic. All right, let's see what we've got. That was delicious. You used just the right amount of salt, which really brought out the flavor of the herbs.
Hey, you were right. It really does feel great to hear someone say that. I practiced seasoning and putting things on the plate and all that stuff, just like you said. Oh, and I had some of the soldiers do a bit of taste testing for me. It sure was rough at first, but I think I've definitely improved.
You certainly have. I had no idea you were working so hard on this.
Oh, and since you have no reference for
That's 'cause
Julius,
I was sneaky.
Julius's glasses guy, as
I
Elle
only
calls
wanted
him,
you to try it once I
he's
knew it was
Luger's
perfect.
older brother.
Okay.
You worked so hard to teach me. I just had to pay you back somehow.
Raphael, You know my father used to run a restaurant, right? Well, this is the dish he was famous for.
You can't see it, but Raph's
You're not
voice
talking
direction
about
for
Lord
this scene
Monada,
was,
are you?
take several dozen steps away
Oh,
from your
my
mic,
birth
please.
He took ill
mean-
and died a long time ago.
From the other side of the room, thank
I
you.
told you what he said about flavor and appearance because he always used to say it to me. And this...
It was after that
Just like what he
from
used to
last
make.
time. Like, just step back, like,
I've
all the
tried for
way.
years to get the same flavor, but I couldn't do it. Honestly, I never thought I'd taste it again.
Come on. Eating through tears is no way to enjoy a meal. Good food should make you smile, not cry.
Sorry, Raphael. Guess I got lost in the past there for a second. But you're right. Good food should make people smile. And everything tastes even better when you're sharing it with a room full of smiling people.
Wait. In that case,
Uh-huh, in that case.
that's it! I'm making a new rule when I get back to the inn. You gotta smile when you eat good
If
food.
you don't, you will be killed.
That'll be good for the cook and the customers alike.
I knew you'd agree. Eating's supposed to be a celebration. So whenever you get a hankering for my cooking again, just say the word, Ash.
It is really distracting how quiet
Thanks,
that is.
Raphael. And I'll
Yeah.
be sure to eat it with a smile.
Like, the fact that Ash is louder than Raph in that scene just isn't right.
Like, I didn't notice it when I did that the first time, but that was, you know, inevitably because I hadn't just listened to the other one back to back where everything was fine. But, like, good God, why was he so
Here you go, Cully. As promised.
This feels a little light. You run into trouble moving the merchandise?
Sure did.
It's fine, Raph.
With
This
all
is the
fighting
first time
lately,
Ash has
even the
cried
noble
over a
folk are
dish of
getting real
food that was
selective
made for
about
him
who
by
they
a
do
human
business
mountain.
with.
Well, nothing to be done for that. Our competitors certainly won't back down, so we can't afford to either. I'll think of something. Might involve crossing a dangerous bridge or three, but we'll work it out.
I'm pretty sure he went... Huh? Yuri?
Well, if it isn't Ash. You seem out of breath. Am I really so charming?
Did you see someone suspicious come this way? I was chasing them down, but I lost them.
Suspicious, you say?
You must be referring to my lackey.
Your lackey? Wait, what is that you're holding?
Oh, just various proceeds from this and that. But I'll not say more, especially not in front of a royal knight like you.
Dirty money, is it?
Coin is coin. Whatever grime it may bear always washes clean in the end.
Unless it's paper money, in which case you've just destroyed it.
I've been biting my tongue on this for a while, but I don't think it's right to earn money the way you do. You're so much smarter than me. You could do anything if you put your mind to it.
Anything.
There's no need to resort to cheating and hurting people to turn a profit.
Are you seriously trying to lecture the Lord of the Underworld? Oh, that's adorable. No one makes it through this life with clean hands. You should know that better than anyone.
This man really has taken a page out of Yuri Lowell's book. Nobody makes it through this life with clean hands. Alright, Yuri, calm down.
In order to feed your family. Am I right?
How do you know about my past? I've never told anyone.
No, I don't know. Perhaps I heard it from Count Rowe. Or maybe even Lord Lenato. The sins we commit follow us until our dying day, my friend.
I know that.
Yuri's hoping to run the
Even
black
so,
market, and yet I'm pretty sure his pricing is still
Well,
better
I'm
than
a bit
Anna's.
busy, so you work that out while I walk away. Bye then.
Yuri. No, I won't turn my back on you.
See, this Anna just likes ripping people off, whereas, like, Engage Anna gets her... either makes herself or gets her friends to make a bunch of homemade shit and then sells it as, like, a legitimate business venture. Whereas this Anna's just a fucking war profiteer. Also, Engage Anna just wants to find her family of other nurse Annas.
Don't let him get away.
They really are a persistent pack of scoundrels.
Maybe I heard it from Count Rowe, or perhaps even from Lord Lenato. Now I know you're lying, Yuri. My father would never tell anyone anything.
Over here.
No, he would tell the church to go fuck
won't chase us
themselves.
this far.
Yeah, that
Looks
much
like
is
I was
true.
just in time. Are you hurt?
So long as my face is fine, the rest of me doesn't matter. That's the real moneymaker, you know.
Is it?
And I appreciate the save, by the way.
You never change. Anyway, care to tell me why those thugs were after you?
Why do you get two
just a
supports
little
with Yuri when
disagreement
Bernie
among
doesn't get
businessmen.
any ash?
Happens all the
I
time.
don't understand.
This is exactly why I said you had to find a different way to make money.
If you're going to lecture me, I'd prefer the arrow you gave my friend back there. Also, if you disagree with my methods, why save me in the first place? You could have left me to reap the consequences of my actions and had one less villain in the world.
I'm not lecturing you because I think you're a villain. I've no right to call you evil anyway. I just don't want to see you endanger yourself.
Sometimes the only way to get anything done is by putting yourself in harm's way. You should know. Or I suppose you wouldn't. What with your being an upstanding knight and all now.
Trust me, I know. I can't forget the past no matter how hard I try.
Go talk to Lady Rhea. She can fix that for you. The swift punch to the face will
Not
have
only are you
you sorted
hurting
out.
other people, You're disregarding your own well-being.
Dorothea's support with Bernie was still
I
more of a
chose this
Bernie
life
Yuri
of my
support
own
scene than
accord, and I
Bernie
take
got with
pride
him.
in what I do.
Yeah, that's also
If I
very
get hurt in
true.
the process, that's just part of the deal. And if I'm caught and the townspeople hurl stones and fruit as I march to my execution, I'll still die with a smile on my face because...
Okay, enough! This is the reason why I can't keep letting you do this! You want to protect the people important to you, right? Well, I want to make sure you don't end up dead and covered in rotting fruit! So if you still insist on being a reckless fool, I'm going to protect you anyway!
Could I be dead and covered in rotting
though it
vegetables?
means
Would that be
siding with a filthy
acceptable?
villain.
Is it just the
Right?
fruit that you have a problem
I'm
with?
not about to help you commit crimes. And if it looks like you're going to hurt someone, I'll do everything in my power to stop you. I just want to save my friend, okay?
I truly don't get you sometimes.
Yuri, I get that
Also,
being
can't
extra
believe
is
I'm
your
gonna
thing,
fall
but
for a
calm down a
cornball
bit there
line
with
like
the
that.
theatrics.
Did you say something, Yuri?
Nothing. Forget it.
He does enjoy being extra. Then again, he was like beaten half to death by Bernie's dad when he was a kid.
Yeah.
Oh, this one is really pulling the line.
It must be our monster. Time to put what you practiced into action.
Yes, I am no longer the clumsy novice
Sky
who
laser.
slipped away from before, foul fish. It's not working. What do I do?
Don't give
Sky
up.
laser?
Play your line out a little, and let the fish tire itself out.
Like this?
Yeah, that's good. Now wait.
Now remember, Ash, punch the fish or we'll get away again.
Flame, look out!
We did it, Ash! Oh, I can scarce believe I managed to capture the beast.
Yeah, that was close. I thought the fish was going to catch you there for a second.
Yes, I might have gotten a bit carried away there. Had you not grabbed my arm when you did, I might be swimming in the river myself.
I'm glad I could help. Seriously glad. And hey, I'm amazed you managed to hang on to the pole through all that.
I told myself I would not let go.
My
no
servos
matter
were working appropriately. What?
Hold on there,
Nothing.
Flame. You have to let go sometimes. None of this is worth putting yourself in danger over. I think I'm starting to see why Sedek
Congratulations,
doesn't
you've
let
caught
you
the
go
Guardian.
fishing.
Now you can either turn it in for experience
Still,
boosting armor
you
or
never
feed it
would've
to a
caught that fish
random
without
cat.
that fierce determination of yours.
Yep,
Mother
true
taught
story.
me to always see tasks through to the very end. But even she never fished up anything so large as this. And though she is no longer around, I would like to think she would be very proud of me.
So that's why you're so interested in fishing. Well, I think this was great, and I'm sure your mother would be proud.
Goodness, you do know how to compliment a lady. Still, I promise to surrender my pole if I ever find myself in this kind of situation again.
Well then, why don't we haul this thing back?
Yes, and then we can feast on the spoils of our victory. I wonder what it tastes like. I can't wait to find out. But, I cannot even fathom how best to prepare
That Guardian
such a
joke is
fish.
totally lost on Willow, by the way.
We could slice it up and fry it.
She
or
has
boil it
not
with
once
vegetables,
played
or...
a Persona.
There are so many
Yeah,
choices.
unfortunately,
Unfortunately, I can
This
fix
has been
that.
so much fun. Flame
I
really
can
reminds
definitely
me
fix
of my
that.
sister.
I've been told they're good games.
She was always so eager
Yes,
to practice in
yes,
the
they are.
kitchen when she was little too.
They're excellent, in fact.
Hold on. Flame. In a kitchen.
Oh shit!
Let me help you.
Keep her away from the maintenance oil! And unlike me, they didn't even need to destroy their arms to do it. Though I guess Flame could just get a new one if she needed. Yep. I mean, at least catching the Guardian in P5 wasn't that bad. It was just P4 that was like, fuck you difficult. Or you're... Wait, Flame in the kitchen. Oh shit, the poison! Yeah, basically.
Thank you for joining me on this moonlit stroll, my dear lady.
I know, it's Mercedes, not my dear lady.
I've always been fond of such nighttime wanderings. The moon and stars are lovely, and there are also certain flowers that bloom only at night.
Count on you to know something like that. You'll have to point me in the direction of those flowers sometime.
They're the ones that are blooming over there, dumbass.
Yes, well, what did you want to talk about?
Well, I heard you were getting engaged, and I was just wondering how you felt.
Goodness, someone is well informed.
Well, your fiancé-to-be is a noble from Gautier territory. It's only natural word would find its way to me. Are you going to accept? I mean, I don't think he's a bad guy or anything, but...
No, it's a fair question. However, as my adoptive father backs the proposal, I doubt I have much say in the matter. Though if I did, I'd likely refuse. There's still so much I want to do and experience in this world. Still,
just get Violet to kill him.
I doubt there's
Problem
much
solved.
hope of the parties involved relenting.
Why not
Violet
just
could offer to murder your adoptive dad.
She does have a standing offer to murder the parents of anyone in the class.
You really blame Sylvain for not getting her name right when no one else does either? Yes, yes you can, and you should.
That lowlife doesn't care about your feelings at all. He just cares about that crest of yours.
We don't choose our bloodline, just like flowers don't choose where to bloom. If being married means I will never know want, then I've no right to complain, even if it is not my preferred outcome.
That is certainly a way to look
You're
at it.
much the same, yes? People like us have to try to bloom as best we can.
I never really thought of myself as a flower, but I get what you're saying.
You're the prettiest flower, Sylvain.
Flowers are
I'm sure
stuck in the same
Mercy's
spot
dad
for
is
life,
already on the
whether they
list.
like it or not. And if they happen to sprout in a bad area, they're out of luck. But we have legs, not roots. We can go wherever we want. And we don't have to give up on our dreams.
Sylvain over here
so
being
long as we're
ableist
clever
towards
about it.
plants.
I see. And what is your clever solution in this case?
Well, if your only goal is to end negotiations with this guy, I could ask you to marry me instead.
I'm not sure I follow. You would marry me, so I don't have to marry someone else?
To be perfectly clear, I'm not making advances on you or anything.
Yeah, who would think
I'm the heir
asking
of House
someone to
Gautier.
marry them was an advance? That's
If
just
I
crazy
ask you,
talk.
This other guy will have no choice but to bow out. Though I doubt he'd be happy about it. After that, you can do whatever you want. Go work at a church, or ladle out soup, or whatever makes you happy. I won't stop you.
But that would prevent you from marrying the person you love.
Okay, look, it's just an idea. You've got lots of options available to you.
You really do know the ways of the world, Sylvain. I've always admired that about you.
The honor of receiving such a compliment from you lifts my feet from
I'm
the
sure
ground.
Mercy's dad's already on the
But
list. I mean,
seriously,
let's be honest, almost
let me
all
know
the
if you need
dads
any
aside
help.
from Rodrigo
I'm always here for
probably
you.
are. No, she's probably got a standing offer to kill Rodrigue's son.
Dimitri's dad is not on the list, I promise.
Well, by virtue of him being dead. Like, all the ladies in the class have awful parents, except, I guess, Lane.
I don't know, Flane's dad is definitely on Violet's list.
Well, yes, but that doesn't make him awful.
Of the swamp they rise, great beasties of every shape and size.
See, beasties, not bears.
They dance in a ring and...
No, that's not right.
Their slime they fling and...
Huh? Who's there?
Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt. Are you getting in a little choir practice there?
Oh, it's you, Sylvain. Were you listening that whole time?
Pretty much. I must say, that song's super creative. You're the only person I know who could think of something like that.
More like creaky.
I feel
Creepy
like you were
weak.
about to use another word there.
Nope. Great song. Top notch. A+. Are you going to perform it soon?
I was actually gonna sing it for everyone later tonight. I came up with the lyrics and tune myself, and now that I'm finished, I can perform it loud and proud.
Violet wouldn't actually kill Seta. Maim him a bit maybe, but killing him just means she needs to actually do her own work for
And
once.
what's wrong with swamp beasties?
No, just make Linhardt do it instead. He looks just like Seta.
It's just that if you're gonna sing it in front of everyone, maybe it should be, I don't know, relatable?
Yeah, but Seth would actually do it, and
swamp
Linhardt
beasties
would
are
just
so
pawn it off on someone else.
Not
Wouldn't it be
after a
better
few
with
threats of
puppy or
death.
a baby sheep or something
I
cute
don't know.
like that.
I don't think Linhardt exactly has the best sense of
I
self-preservation.
see what you're saying. Cute animals.
Kind of hard to do any
cute
work
animals.
with broken arms.
Oh, what about bears? Huge ones.
Yeah, I guess huge bears are better than beasties. I mean, they are pretty cute when they're not trying to tear your face off. Okay, that's good. Except I'm pretty sure bears don't live in swamps. So if you switch it up, it should probably be about giant bears dancing in the woods.
That is the most adorable thing I've ever heard. Are you secretly a professional songwriter, Sylvain?
Absolutely not. In fact, I feel like I should apologize for butting in with ideas when you've clearly been working so hard on this.
Oh, don't apologize. If it helps make it a song everyone will enjoy, I'm all for it. I'm glad we're close enough for you to give your honest opinion.
Well, I've never been one to ignore hardworking girls like you. And I'd love to hear it when it's finished. Wait, what's with the look? Did you come up with the new lyrics already?
Yep. Your suggestions gave me all the inspiration I needed.
Impressive. Why don't you sing it for me?
Of course! I'm sure you'll love it. From the forest they appear, a sleuth of bears with cute round ears. They dance in a ring and enjoy the beats, but tonight they'll feast on meaty treats.
That actually might be more creepy somehow. But hey, maybe writing weird songs
Actually,
is a
I
talent
like
all of
the
its own.
second one much better than the first
At
one.
the very
Oh, yeah,
least,
for sure.
they're great at distracting me from real-life worries. Thanks, Annette.
Why does Sylvain get fucking supports with Yuri? This is bullshit. Hold on, I have to check something.
Have you just not unlocked them?
No, it's not that she gets them on like a different route or anything.
That was quite the sigh. What's the matter, Sylvain?
Oh, nothing. Well, except there's a guy in my unit who keeps acting up, and I'm not sure what to do.
You don't say.
She
I
sounds
don't
so
think
interested.
I like the face you're making.
Right?
Let me ask, just to be sure. Is this mysterious troublemaker in fact you?
Hey, I've changed. I swear I have. But no, it's not me. It's one of my knights. He keeps walking around breaking stuff and getting into fights. And I'm spending all my time
Sylvain, is this man actually a cat?
So you finally understand how I felt. You know, I never thought this day would come. You really have changed, Sylvain. Perhaps this warrants a celebration.
Then you better bring your purse because I'm ordering 2 of everything. Seriously, Ingrid, you don't have to sound that impressed. With school suspended and the war raging, we've all had to adapt to changing circumstances. Felix and Dimitri both succeeded their fathers, and are now burning the candle at both ends, right? I can't go around causing trouble with unending scandals when I'm supposed to be the mature one of the bunch.
What's a wick at the bottom of the candle?
Right?
It is wonderful to see you
And
turn
also,
a new leaf.
with most candle holders, how do you light the wick at the bottom of a candle?
I mean, the only way you could do it would be to like
I suppose I had this
spear the candle in the middle and have it like
I
come
am
out to
sorry,
either
Sylvain.
side, and
I
then
was
like
only teasing.
have it burn towards
Think
the
of it as
middle.
payback
Or I
for
suppose
everything
you lay a
put me
candle on its side,
Still,
like
not
on one of
having
the
to
round
clean up
sides.
after
You could
has
have the
been
wick
a real
come out
weight
both
lifted from my
ends and then
shoulders.
light.
That's
that-
literally what I just said. Yes.
That just seems like a fire hazard, though.
Looking back,
So does a candle
I really
in general,
appreciate everything you did
strictly
for me.
speaking.
In that case, you should make the change permanent
It's an
so
open
you never
flame.
cause
That's pretty
trouble
much the
for
biggest
anyone
fire
again.
hazard there is.
Though, honestly, I do not really
So,
know
Vane,
what
is
to
this
do with myself
knight
now
actually
that
just
I'm
a
not
cat?
spending all
Because
my
I
time
wouldn't put it past
apologizing for
Felix.
you.
Felix's cat to cause problems for
Frankly,
people.
I was
My
convinced
cat's
you
son
were
is
useless
innocent.
without
Damn
me.
it.
Sorry. Again.
Please, no. You gave me experience I'd never have gotten otherwise.
Sorry?
If I were truly miserable, I would have
I'm sorry,
abandoned
what
you
did
to the
she
wolves
just
long
say?
ago. Besides, it wasn't all bad. You were the one who finally coaxed me from my room after Glenn's death, remember?
Okay, I'm confused. Do you want me to go back to being a huge flirt, or...?
Don't be ridiculous.
Figured.
As you said, we have all had to adapt to changing circumstances, which means we cannot cling to the past forever. You and I are no exception. It is merely a touch sad to come to the realization.
Oh my god, stop being a robot. Why? What was this voice direct? Who approved this?
What's the matter, Ingrid? You sound exhausted.
Like, she randomly dips in and out of sounding like a robot
it is just that my
mid-support
father's work
scene.
never
I know,
ends.
it's incredible.
Writing battle reports, explaining our Pegasus maintenance costs. There's always something that needs doing.
Like, she did it in the middle of that
impressed that
sentence
you,
there.
Felix, and His Majesty
Explaining
managed
our
to stay on
Pegasus
top of it all.
maintenance costs?
Yep.
What?
Are you
What?
sure you're okay, Ingrid? It isn't like you to be so worried.
Perhaps I'm simply not suited for desk work. I sound pathetic.
Well, that's my cue to pitch in and help out. By treating a lovely lady to a fine meal.
I thought you'd sworn off such flirtatious nonsense.
Can't you just accept a generous offer for once instead of immediately disparaging the giver?
Maybe you're right. In that case, I accept. I reached a good stopping point anyway, so I may as well eat on your coin.
No, we're gonna eat on a table. Fucking weirdo who eats on a coin.
It has been some time since I've eaten this much. I've been so busy lately, my meals have consisted of whatever quick snack I can scrounge up in the moment.
Well, that makes the incredibly hefty bill worth it. Also, it's been a while since I've been able to watch you eat. I think I kind of missed it.
And what is that supposed to mean?
Yeah. Really.
Sorry, that came out all wrong. What I meant to
Ingrid,
say
stop
was that it's a
sounding
relief
like
to
some
finally
kind of
see you enjoy
AI
a decent
attempting
meal.
to sound human.
I mean, we're basically family, you know?
I wonder if her
And I'm sure
actual
Felix and
voice
Yuki
actress
would
just
feel the same
wasn't
way.
available for this
And they
game,
just
and they
had to,
just
like,
used
piece
an
it
AI
together.
or something.
When we were talking earlier, you said
Just pieced
something
it
about
together
how a
with
person
dialogue
can't
from
cling
the
to
last
past
game.
forever. Well, I think that's why it makes us so happy when we realize some things never change.
Some things never change, huh? Hold on. That means you were still gawking at me as I ate.
Yeah, but can you blame me? You are a fascinating eater. I mean, you're normally really serious, but when you eat, it's like your entire face lights up.
Do you even hear
We
yourself?
know you can talk normally, damn
Yes,
it.
well, speaking of things that never change, I thought of an even more important one.
What's that?
Our friendship. The way we're there for each other through thick and thin. Even if our relationship changes, we will always hold each other dear.
Okay, that line is way too cheesy. Who taught you to say that? What rogues have you been hanging out with?
Stop complaining and come with me. I want to buy some treats for everyone.
I'd follow you to the ends of the earth, my lady.
Milady. This guy over here with the fedora. The hell happened to her during this game's time skip to make her say words in this way at random intervals? It's weird, yeah. It is most unnatural, I agree.
Ignatz, I've been looking all over for you.
Oh, hello, Sylvain. Do you need something?
Yeah, I actually... Oh, were you painting? Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt.
No, it's fine. What can I do for you?
Actually, I was hoping you could take a look at this painting I brought back last time I was home.
This style is
Is
rarely
that
seen in Fargus.
the Mona Lisa
It
but
might be the work of an
Edelgard?
imperial painter.
Yes, that's the Mona Lisa but Edelgard.
Agreed. I don't think I've seen this style of brushwork used much in the kingdom. My father's first wife was an imperial noble, so maybe it was hers?
Well, considering it's Edelgard.
Still, it's quite stunning.
I know, right? That lady's really something.
I didn't mean the woman herself. Though, of course, she's lovely too. The features
Again,
of her
it's
face suggest such
Edelgard.
kindness. She actually resembles Lady Rhea in a way.
The thing is,
Well,
I
it
have
would
no
make
idea
sense
who
if she
is
resembled
or
Lady
if she
Rhea
even
in a
exists
way.
in real life.
Yeah.
Is that why you came to me? To see if I could uncover her identity?
Pretty much. I really love this thing.
Is
so it's
this
been
what
bugging me for
Edelgard had her
years.
people use time on
Thought maybe
before
you
she
could finally
went
scratch the
crazy
itch for me.
So it would seem.
I mean, everybody knows you're the go-to guy for anything related to art.
Oh, is it supposed to be pre-green hair Rhea then?
Try not to get your
I
hopes
don't
up.
think Rhea's
There's
hair
still
was
a great
ever
deal I
not
don't
green.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure Rhea's
must
hair
admit,
has always been
My
green.
curiosity has been piqued as well.
Oh, really? Thanks.
But what
I
you've
wouldn't
got to
have the
remember
first clue
is
about how to
that
go about
the
this on my own.
I can't say Edelgard's
I'd at
last
least
name.
have something to go
Pressfeld,
on if it was a
something
religious
like that.
painting. But us
That
kingdom folk pretty
bloodline
much only care about fighting, you know?
is descended from Rhea.
And our art books are... Well,
Yeah, by way of
let's
like
just say
William
they're lacking
Paul,
and
whatever
leaving
his name was. William Paul Gresfelg.
Wilhelm Paul.
Sadly, while
I
religious
think
arts
Paul is
continue to
correct.
Yeah, Paul is definitely.
The same
I
can be
remember
said
the
for its
Paul
secular
bit
counterparts.
very
So
distinctly.
it would make sense
do get
if
the impression
somewhere
Wilhelm
Portrait
Paul
may actually be related
Fresfeld.
to the
Yeah.
Church of Ceres,
is that
though.
if somewhere in
You think?
that
I don't know.
bloodline there was
I
a
haven't
daughter
noticed
that
any
had
of the
a
usual elements of a Ceres
that had a
civilization.
passing resemblance to Rhea. The
As
issue
I'm sure you know,
is that the
paintings
silver
of
hair
legendary and sacred
isn't
figures all share a certain pattern.
a familial trait.
Which is
The
to
silver
say they're
hair is a
frequently
result of
depicted with their
Edelgard being
associated symbols.
experimented on.
Yeah, like Saint Seros with swords and Saint
It's a
Cephalin
result
with
of the
fish.
dual crests.
But
So whoever
I don't
was
see
in that
anything
picture,
even close to that here.
if it wasn't Rhea and it was some
Look at
other
the birds.
ancestor,
Don't they seem strangely prominent to you?
then whoever it was
I
had two
guess,
crests.
now that you mention it. Okay,
Or
so who was
they
associated
were
with
just
birds?
blonde.
Saint Macule, maybe? No, Saint Macule was a guy.
Just to point out, Rhea
This
did
is
have
nothing
blonde
like
hair
how
in the
he's
opening
usually depicted
cinematic.
either.
Did she?
I think that might have just been a trick of the light from all the
no
like
offense.
fire and flames and shit.
To
And,
be honest, I always thought the two of us lived in
and
entirely
I need to
different
look up
worlds.
the opening scene
Come on.
because
You should know me better
I don't
than that.
recall that.
I'm the biggest art connoisseur in all of Fargus.
Which isn't to say I
I
distrust
admit,
your
at
memory.
first
I am more
only
inclined to
studied it
trust
to
your
impress the
memory than
ladies.
mine most of the time.
It
Bio.
sounds like she's distrusting your
But-
memory here,
Sorry.
Bio.
I guess we still live in different worlds after all.
No, it super wasn't. That hair was absolutely blonde, and I know that because I just looked at it.
Hey, Ignatz. How goes the research?
I've actually learned a fair number of things
He's
about your painting.
actually not wrong.
Based on the canvas and
Saint
pigments,
Seros.
I've managed to narrow down the era when it was made. I believe it to be from roughly 200 years ago, around the time the Officers' Academy was founded at the monastery.
Wow, I'm impressed you can
Maybe
nail
that
it
was
down
just
that
a disguise she
specifically.
put on, so people
I
wouldn't
knew
work
you'd
out
come
that she
through
was
for me.
actually Rhea.
Well,
I mean,
the vivid blue pigment of her clothes is
it's
very
also
distinctive. It's a rare kind of Almiran paint made from
theoretically
crushed
possible
gemstones.
too that
And it only came to Fodlan 2 centuries ago.
her hair just
after
kind of
Almira
got
invaded.
Which means the
Painted.
painting can't be any older
well,
than that, yeah?
honestly. It might have just been dyed
Oh,
that
and the
color.
material used
Looking
for
at
the
the way it's
canvas
done
is-
in the photo
Well, if
or
I
in the
went into
stills,
every detail, we'd be here
because
all
the
day.
ends are still green.
Well, what about you, Sylvain?
And
Did you
I
learn
suppose
anything?
it's possible
I
she
heard
could
you
have
were
had the
trying to
green
track down some
balayaged
books in
into
the
her
capital.
hair too, but
Yeah, I read up on the saints. Turns out birds are
Yes, I
definitely
know
one of
Gesundheit.
Saint Macule's
She's
things.
making up words now, you guys.
But I also found a weird story about an archbishop from 2 centuries ago.
Maybe Rhea just dyes her hair green
I'm
because
guessing
she's
her
so
reign got
weird
cut
about her
short due to
mom.
illness because
Maybe she,
I didn't recognize the
maybe
name at all.
the Saint Seros days she was dyeing her hair
Anyway,
blonde
on
because
the
she was in a
died,
rebellious
white
phase.
birds
or
apparently flocked
because
to the
she was
monastery
trying
and
to
started
avoid
mourning.
for whatever reason, the direct connection
took place 2
between like the
centuries ago,
general public
She might be the person
and
in this
her
painting.
relation to the goddess,
Yeah,
which would
It all
seem
seems too connected to be a
a
coincidence.
characteristic, but
Still, her clothes seem rather plain for an archbishop of the time.
oh no, it was an
I
archbishop
wonder why.
in the
They were
painting.
usually into fancy robes.
So yeah, it
and
was
big
clearly
hats and
right.
all that.
Maybe it's more of a symbolic representation than an actual portrait.
No, it was definitely the Mona
It
Lisa
could be
that
designed to
Edelgard.
show how she was humble and supportive of the poor and
Maybe Rhea
downtrodden.
just dyes her hair green because... yeah.
Or perhaps she just wanted to be represented without all the
I don't know
trappings
why,
of her
it,
office.
so on my screen, the whole
Of course, I'm
chat
just
just
guessing
kind
here.
of shifted. And I
I
was
have
like,
no
oh,
actual
there's a new
proof of
message. No,
anything.
there wasn't. Just a screen just
Hey,
fucking...
I'm spitballing too.
YouTube
I mean,
did a thing.
I don't even know for sure that she was an archbishop. Still, is it just me or does she look a lot like Lady Rhea?
Well, yes, I suppose she does. But that has to be a coincidence, right?
Probably.
The position of archbishop isn't hereditary, and I doubt they could be related in any way.
Yeah, you're right. Probably just the overall ambiance that makes them seem similar. Anyway,
Okay,
who
kind
knew
of
I'd
low
find
key
something
love
like this
Rhea's
hiding in my house.
Halloween outfit
Pretty
from
crazy, huh?
Fire Emblem Heroes.
I'm really glad I showed you. Not knowing would have probably bugged me for the rest of my life otherwise.
Shame it's only low-key for you. I
thank
high-key
you.
love it.
I'm truly glad to have come across this piece.
That was her outfit all the time. She'd
Both because
definitely
I
be
got
like
to know a
top
stunning
tier
work
on
of
the
art
waifu
and
list.
because I learned more about you in the process. You're much easier to talk to than I imagined, and quite a bit more interesting as well.
It's weird how surprisingly low she is
Glad
on
we
that
could clear
list
up that
given her
little
voice actress,
misunderstanding,
but,
because I'm all about making new friends.
I feel just the same.
Considering usually Jeremy just
Actually,
being the voice for a character is instantly top tier waifu material.
That's a really interesting point that I'm seeing in some of the comments on the opening scene. All 3 of the saints in the opening scenes were blonde. Rhea, Sedith, and Flayn were all blonde. That's a screenshot of Flayn and Sedith.
Yeah.
They were also blonde.
Again, they were also dyeing their hair. Looks a lot like Lady Rhea, doesn't it? Yeah, it must be a coincidence. You're probably right. Oh, that reminds me, I also found these 2 paintings that look like Sedith and Flayn. Weird, huh?
You have something to say, or do you just like staring at me?
Oh, don't think I can't do both.
Merely thinking about your brother, that's all. I only caught a glimpse of him at Aryan Road, but it was nothing like what the rumors suggested.
You mean the ones about the eldest son of a noble family falling from grace? Taking up a life of banditry and wanton destruction.
Stealing a lance, turning into a
That's what
giant
you're saying.
enemy dragon, getting
They say
killed.
he was a foul knave who stole not to survive, but because he took such great pleasure from the act. Still, I suppose one shouldn't take such rumors at face value.
Actually, there's a fair amount of truth to what they say. At least there was, up until 2 years ago. Yet still, His Majesty thought it was wise to recruit him to our side, and somehow managed to do just that.
Yes, I hear he wooed your brother with the chance to demonstrate how the Crestless can still make something of themselves.
Yeah, and then he
His honeyed
ended up
words drew him in,
very deceased.
At which
Yeah,
point
but he made
began to
something
play
of
the man's
himself
inferiority complex like a mandolin.
Seems like you're more
Do
cunning
you
than
a
I
whole lot
realized.
of good making something of yourself.
You really have
then
eyes and ears
immediately die.
everywhere, huh?
You're one to talk of cunning, springing
I
as
don't
you
know.
do from the
Tried telling
loins of
that to
Margrave
several
Gautier
famous
himself.
assassinated figures throughout history.
I know you've been
Like
keeping tabs on my
MLKJ.
every move.
He made something of himself, then immediately
What?
died and, you know,
In my line of work,
caused a
one learns
huge
to pick
social
up on
revolution.
hostile presences rather quickly.
So,
From the day
sometimes
we
it works
met,
out.
You've been waiting for me to take
Sometimes,
one
but-
wrong step so you can cut me down.
Most of the time, the
I'd heard the
people
heir of
who
House Gautier was nothing more than a base
passed away
philanderer.
are
But
mourned
it seems
briefly
that
by
rumor isn't
are mourned
completely true
briefly
either.
by the community for
Just
a
look
longer
at you,
period of time by those
having the
most
gall to call
directly
me out
affected
while you
and
hide
forgotten
behind
about
the
by the rest
murderous
of the
grin
world.
plastered on your face.
Unfortunate truth,
I know
but
you
truth.
killed without hesitation.
Hey, we've all made mistakes. There's no need to rehash the past. And what's this murderous grin
Yeah,
you're
I'm glad we all
talking
forgot about that Lincoln guy.
What would that even look like?
I mean,
The
you're
fact
gonna
you
name
were
the
conscious of it
exceptions
makes you
because
all the
that's
more
what you and
dangerous.
I do to people.
Unless
but-
that painted grimace just now was also part of your act. Regardless, that crest-bearing fool seems woefully inappropriate for one of your
Yeah, so I'll
caliber.
just have someone draw a portrait of me, and then
It's
hundreds of
clear
years
you
from now, I'll
inherited
just
your
hang it
father's
over my
cunning,
fireplace.
and then
Nobody
some.
will ever notice it looks like me. Right?
I'm not sure
probably.
whether to take that as a compliment or just start sobbing.
The former. There aren't many in Fodling capable of winning my true respect. For my part, I'll watch where I step, lest I end up with one of your blades lodged in my back.
I don't think you have to worry. I'm pretty sure most of his blades have been appropriated. As we've established, Rhea tends to have far more bad ideas than she does good ones.
All right, that should do it.
Yeah, but occasionally her bad
Sorry for
ideas
pulling
turn
you
out to
into this,
be the
Sylvain.
best ideas. Like
Hey,
recruiting some
I'm the
random
one who should be
mercenary to be a
apologizing.
teacher.
I can't believe
I mean,
didn't
that one
pick up
worked
on the
out
fact
fairly
we had
well.
Spies in our midst.
I mean, she
Oh,
did turn
I'm
an
just
entire class of
especially
students
attuned to
into war
sensing such
criminals,
people.
but
What with my line of work and all.
Well, yeah,
they
but
also then
They seemed quite
stopped
adept,
a coup,
save for the fact they were just as poor
killed
at
a
hiding
crazy
their
lady,
hostility as
saved an
you.
archbishop.
Or maybe you're just way too perceptive.
Merely years of practice, I assure you. Still, I was surprised to see how eagerly you set about clearing those spies from our midst. Never thought I'd meet someone who'd jump at an invitation to purge spies as readily as he would a lunch date with a pretty woman.
Well, time is of the essence with this kind of stuff, and Dimitri surely won't mind that we only let him know after the fact. We have to win this war, and nothing loses a war faster than a leaky ship.
Yet even superior intelligence can be overturned by brute force. Take Aryan Road, for example. I was so certain we had achieved total victory, and then...
You just unga bunga smashed us instead of doing
that was
anything
a hard-won
intelligent.
battle. We'd never have made it without my brother and the Knights. Speaking of which, it's still a little weird to trust my back to a guy who was so recently trying to jam a
Well,
sword.
who knows how that would have ended up going if
I
the random
understand
war
your
criminal
qualm.
she hired to teach
In
those
fact,
kids didn't
I'm
spend 5
surprised
years
you never
learning to
hunted
calm
me
down at the bottom
yourself
of
to
a
seek
river.
revenge for your brother's
Yeah.
death.
It's all water under the bridge if you joining helps us win this war.
Well, Edelgard would have just died
if I
there
could
that
trust you
day if she
first.
hadn't fallen off a cliff.
And now? Have I proven worthy of that trust?
Certainly. Your perceptiveness really saved our
Right? It never
tails
would
this
have
time.
been captured. Byleth would have just
But
gone
don't
and
forget
murdered
that I'm
Edelgard's
sworn to
face
protect
in.
this
Like, it
place.
would have been
And
fine.
you know exactly what'll happen if you decide to switch sides.
You're actually quite the loyalist beneath all that flippancy. I admire such sensibility, believe it or not. But you may rest easy. I have no intentions of betraying you. In fact, I look forward to a lasting friendship with the future Margrave.
I'd like that. And I kind of appreciate how you see right through me. Saves me the trouble of trying to beat around the bush, you know?
It sounds as if we forged a mutual respect. Perhaps I might even agree to go out with you sometime.
Oh, baby?
So long as you don't use any more of your awful pickup lines from the first time we met. Oh, how did that one go again? Ah, yes. Hello there, my adorable little chickadee. Care to let this rooster into the hen house?
Look, I already apologized for mistaking you for a girl, so you can quit bringing it up now.
And give up
I have
such
no
an
intentions of
embarrassing
betraying you.
tidbit
I
on
don't
the
know,
next
Yuri. That
Margaret
definitely sounds
Gautier.
like something that a person
Never.
planning to betray Sylvain would say to him.
Besides, I never asked you to apologize. You're not the first to make that error, nor will you be the last. And frankly, a date with you would likely prove a very
That's like
interesting
Byleth
experience.
telling Sylvain, I'm definitely
There's no
not
better
going
way
to
secure
bench
one's
you.
future than by attaching oneself to a
Asterisk
dashing
before I
Margrave
bench
to be,
Felix.
after all.
Yep.
Whoa, you just put my chickadee line
Sorry,
to
what was
shame.
that last bit?
Is it
Nothing,
weird that
don't
I'm
worry
kinda
about it.
into it.
Take note, Sylvain. This is how it's done.
I think I'm at least starting to get how you've risen so far so fast. I'm definitely glad you're on our side. Anyway, here's to seeing where the future takes us.
That was the B one, right?
Yes.
That's
What are you doing up so late, Mercy?
I was having trouble sleeping. You too, Annie?
Yup. I'm just so nervous about our battle tomorrow.
Perhaps we should chat for a while to ease our
Look, I'm
nerves.
sorry that I tried hitting on you because I thought you were a girl,
great
alright?
idea.
Oh, I never said I
It
wasn't
reminds
okay
me
with
of
it.
when we
Just
were
that your
students at
pickup
the
lines
School
were
of Sorcery in
terrible.
Verdiad.
Or what?
When we shared a room and would stay up chattering until dawn?
I mean, essentially.
Exactly. It feels like that was forever ago.
So much has happened in the meantime. We enrolled in the Officers' Academy, the war began.
But we've stuck together through
Where
it
it
all.
said the war
Even
began,
after
I
classes were
completely
suspended.
misread that line. I thought she was like, oh, we enrolled in the
I'm so
Officers
clumsy, I
Academy, we
felt like
fought
I was always
bears.
getting in people's way while we
What?
were there. gotten through all this without you by my side.
And I've relied on you just as much. In fact, it often feels like you're the one who's constantly coming to my aid lately. Remember when I got stuck in that bandit's trap? I thought I was done for, but you came to my rescue.
Well, I wasn't gonna leave you in a bandit trap.
A bear
Although
trap I
I
would have
just
left
ended
you
up
in, but
falling
not a
right
bandit
in and
one.
getting wounded myself. I was so desperate to save you, I wasn't paying attention to what was around me.
You don't know what these two did during the
not for
time
you
skip.
healing me,
Annie's
I don't know
songs
what
could
would
very well be
happen.
based off of true stories of these two fighting swamp
We
bears
worked
for all
together
we
and
know.
made it back in
That's
one
true.
piece. So all's well that ends well.
You know, I think we've always been like this. I feel like I can overcome anything so long as I'm with you.
And I feel the same. I hope we will be friends forever.
Oh, for sure. We'll be best friends until we're a couple of wrinkled old grannies.
Best friends.
There are so many things I want
Heavy
to
air
do with you,
quotes on
and
that.
so many places
Super
I want
heavy
to
air
go.
quotes.
And yet
I don't
Annette is
care
not
if we're strolling
romanceable.
through Deirdre or just
If
window
you're
shopping.
Fembila.
Everything's better with you.
Mercy is, but not Annette.
I would love to go shopping in the capital, and then later...
Just go open a
Anne,
bakery
Why
together
don't we
already.
wait to talk about this until the war is over?
In the immortal words of my
What?
college anime
Why?
club, just fuck
Because then we
already!
can each write down things we want to do as we think of them, and then show our list to each other
Speaking of,
afterward.
Kana's coming up
Doesn't that
soon.
sound fun?
Is it?
Yeah.
Who are they?
That sounds
They haven't
very
said
fun.
yet.
We can even compete to
Because
see who has
that's
the
not
longest
unnerving
list.
at all.
I'm gonna scribble all my plans down as
At
soon
least
as
they
I get
hadn't
back
said
to my
yet as
room
of
so I
last
don't
night.
forget.
But won't that keep you up longer?
Oh, right. My insomnia.
I was looking over the list of
You were so
vendors,
busy
though.
chatting, I
didn't
forgot
see
all
anybody
about
we
it.
knew on there, which is unfortunate.
Thanks, Mercy.
Really?
I feel a lot better now.
I'm gonna have to talk to a
My
local
sentiments
game store
exactly. Good night,
owner
Annie.
I'm friends
I'll see you
with
tomorrow.
and see why he's not.
Well, it doesn't mean they didn't necessarily sign up. They might just not have not made it, because apparently they had a lot of applications. No, they still have not announced the guests. It's okay, last year was really disappointing. Like, I went and looked at last year's guests, and I never heard of... I say I'd never heard of either of them, but, like, I did actually know the second one, but only from one role. Because she was the one that played Kisara in Arise. That's it. That's the only thing I know her from. Oh, right. I like that Lysithia is just down here at the bottom of the list and can't be spoken to.
I love that now I'm just looking at the vendor list. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah. There were two places I was really expecting to see on there, and neither of them are there.
Although, actually, I do recognize the last artist on the list.
Good for you. I think she might be one of the
Goodness,
guests
but that
as
is
well.
heavy.
Could you grab the feed over there, Mercedes?
Or at least she was last year, maybe?
Yes.
Anyway.
Of course. Give me one moment, please.
Oh, good.
Please,
Suddenly
don't push
Annie has
yourself if you're
horrible
tired.
bouts of
I can do it.
insomnia. I wonder where that
Well,
came
We
from.
managed to finish. I'm so sorry for leaving the bulk of the work to you.
Do not worry about it. You're always
Do
helping me
not
with so
worry
many other
about
things.
it.
Besides
Ingrid,
which,
please.
I'm used to taking care of horses. It barely even feels like work anymore.
Okay.
I suppose House
Ingrid,
Galatea
say
is
your
famous for
friend's
its
name
Pegasus
right,
nuts.
god damn it.
Yes, though they are costly to care for, so we don't keep many. When I was a child,
Hello,
I often helped my older
Mercedes.
brothers tend to both our Pegasi and our horses.
I forgot that you have brothers.
Yes, my eldest brother acts as our father's advisor, while the other serves a different family as a knight.
You must have been very close. It's wonderful.
I suppose, though we hardly ever played together, the age gap was just too great. My eldest brother in particular was incredibly strict with me. Whenever I would try to go horseback riding through the hills, he would say, "How dare you do something so dangerous? What if something happened to you?" What's worse, my father agreed with him. It kept me from getting out on too many adventures as
But
a
weirdly,
child.
they were totally fine when I tried to get on a flying
Thinking back
horse.
on it, I understand their concern. I was the only one in the family to bear a crest, after all.
I'm not so certain your
Does
crest
Mercy
was the
need
reason for their
to walk
concern.
around with a damn pronunciation guide for her
I
name
think they
pinned to
were
her
worried
chest or
simply because
something?
they love you.
Probably, yes.
You're the youngest, yes? It's only natural for them to
I mean,
want
it's
to
her own
keep you
fault
safe.
for not pronouncing it Mercedes the way it looks like it should be.
It is true we had a mostly good relationship, but I don't know if I'd go that far.
I'm not so sure. They would have treasured you all the same, even if you didn't bear a crest. Even now, I can't help but want to fuss over my little brother, so I know what it means to be an older sibling.
I hear you, but I still don't see the need to be quite so overprotective.
Especially because you're the only
You
one in the
protest,
family with a
but
crest.
I can tell you enjoyed their show
Like,
of
of your
affection.
siblings, you're the one
In
with the crest. It's why your dad puts all his hopes and dreams on you.
Mercedes? What are you doing?
Mercedes?
I'm ruffling your hair, since your brothers aren't around to do it.
That is the most ridiculous thing I have ever heard. Come, we should get back to work.
Whatever you say.
Ah, yes, Squirray.
If you fall, pick yourself back up. An enemy won't wait for you to regain your footing.
Yes, Lady Ingrid.
We've been at this for a while now. Let's take a break.
You have a little brother?
Hello.
Mercedes.
You seem to be doing
No,
fine
it's
work with
Mercedes.
your training today.
Ingrid, it's
I
like
brought
what happened
snacks,
with Cyril
so
all
please
over
eat up
again.
and restore your
What about
energy.
Cyril? I genuinely have no idea.
Thank you, Lady Mercedes. I'll go tell the others at once.
That would be wonderful. Oh, and I baked plenty, so
Mercedes.
there's no need to rush. Dig in, Ingrid. We must remember to treat ourselves once in a while, after all.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, these are delicious. Of course, I should have expected no less from you. I have been struggling every day for a way to show these girls my appreciation, yet have come up with nothing. But then you waltz in here and pull
Oh
it
my
off in
god, I
one fell
can't believe
swoop.
we're still doing
Just
this
look
shit
how
when
happy
the
you've made them.
NPC soldiers don't match the colors
You
of their
give me too much
portraits at
credit.
all.
Children love anyone who brings them sweets.
Why would you still
they
not
are
be able to
nothing more
believe
than
it? It's
bundles
been
of
this
nerves.
way
Yeah,
for
why-
like
why do you
hundreds of
expect
hours.
anything
I'm sure they'd
different
feel
at this
ease if
point?
Only I was as kind and considerate as you.
Oh, I think you're much more important to them than I. All I do is bring snacks on occasion.
We gotta
You
be
take the time to train
between the
them
two
every
games.
day
We gotta
without
be
fail.
like at 150 or
I know
200
the only
hours by
reason
now,
they're
right?
so strict is so they're
least,
ready
'cause
for what
we
awaits them on
hit
the battlefield.
How many episodes for the first
Your
game?
lessons are
I
their
mean, we
own
did it
form
for
of kindness.
a little over a
I'm
year,
certain they
so
recognize that.
we had a couple weeks missed,
You
but
have
that's
more
like
confidence than
150
I
hours
do.
by
On its
itself.
own,
and
yeah.
We're on the
Then let me ask you a
14th,
question.
15th
Do you
week of
hate
this,
your older
so
brothers?
another, you know,
40-ish.
40-ish.
No, how could I? I mean, naturally, there were times where I resented how hard they were on me.
I'm
but it was
sure
never
knowing
hate.
Bio, we're gonna have an hour
They were
count
simply
soon,
looking out for me.
but...
I'm proud to call them my brothers.
You see? There are many ways to be kind and considerate.
Huh. I think I understand what you're driving at now.
There's no need to force yourself to be someone you're not. Just be yourself. You're already one of the kindest people I know.
But I'm terrible at encouraging people the way you do.
Well, yes, you don't bake.
I don't think that's true. But if it really concerns you, you could try acting more like me.
say,
Right,
that's
I will start
actually not a bad
insisting people
idea.
pronounce my name Eingride.
In that case, let me dish out the
What?
same treatment
No,
you gave
we
me
don't
the
have
other
some
day.
kind of horribly designed piece
Prepare
of shit
yourself,
dungeon for me to
Mercedes.
suffer through
It's time for
watching,
me to
so
show
why would I
my
go ahead and
affection.
count the playtime like that?
Goodness,
Yeah,
where
exactly.
could this possibly be going?
Alright, I'll get back to that later. Orange.
It's okay, I'll probably end up looking it up between now and next week. Maybe I'll make that part of what I do tomorrow, since I'm not working.
Oh, would Willow even have the context for that? I don't think she would.
I
Probably
mean-
not, no.
Enu's mentioned that there have been a couple of games
Annette,
he's
good day
played
to you.
where
I
it's
see you
been
remain as
a ridiculous
sprightly and
number of
sweet as a
hours
newly
to clear
bloomed
just like
flower.
one thing. But no,
Hi,
the
Lawrence.
particular dungeon you're referencing.
So in
Have I
Vesperia,
done
we
something
did
to invite
we
your
did
displeasure?
a bonus dungeon that was a tenth of the
You just
time of the
Kind of
entire
brought back a bad
run.
memory from a long time ago.
11%.
Yeah.
According to bio,
The school
he
sorcery?
instantly
There was this
corrected
one
you
time
on
this
that
noble
one.
He actually corrected me before I even said it.
What manner of cur would dare do such a thing? If a noble ever presumes to mock your genius,
Translation,
point me in
he
their
knew
direction
you
so
were
I
gonna
might
get
give
the
them a taste of
number
their own
wrong
medicine.
before you even gave it.
I mean, I know what it is. I
Oh,
always
pop
just
the
round
cork
it
on
because
that
it's
medicine
easier to
bottle and
say
take a
about
nice big gulp.
10% than.
Hold a moment. Are you implying that I am the one who mocked you?
I'm not implying it. I'm saying it. You made fun of me the first time we ever met.
The worst part was we
You
had
were
to
all
do
like,
the dungeon
I say, you
twice.
there. This is
Why?
no place for a child. Now run along to your
What did you
parents
fuck
or I'll
up?
summon the watch.
Well, you see, we got
We
to the
simply cannot
bottom
abide a common scullery maid
only
wandering
to
these
discover we
hollow
couldn't
halls.
actually do the
Why,
thing at the
you made
bottom
a
yet
laughingstock.
because we hadn't done a
You thought I was
prerequisite that
some
would let
lost
us.
kid, and you
So
called
we
me a
left
scullery
and did the
maid.
thing and then had to come back, but we couldn't just
Yes,
start at the
I
bottom,
do
so we had to
seem to
do like the
vaguely
bottom
recall the
50
incident.
floors again.
Oh, so that scullery maid was you.
Bio says, by the way, that's 11% out of
You were, in
100 hour
fact, no maid
playthrough,
at
just to be
all,
clear,
but the
for a
noble
single
niece
fucking
of Baron
dungeon.
Dominic.
Yeah.
You have my sincerest apologies for the error. Pray forgive my impertinent tongue.
Correct me if I'm wrong, but
it's
Vesperia
fine.
you released
I mean,
in like
It would be
30-minute
silly to keep hanging on to a grudge
episodes,
like
right?
that, right?
Yeah, 15 to 20.
If we'd had
Or
but
that's-
another chance to
So,
properly converse
for
back then,
11
I'm
hours,
certain
that's
the matter
about
would have been cleared up with
44
some ease.
episodes. That was
Exactly.
just
That day
that
is borrowed
It
dungeon.
was about a month and a half
Opportunity
of
to
nothing
meet.
but that dungeon, yeah.
Now that you mention it, I don't remember seeing you around after that.
Only to then fight probably one of the single worst
Yes,
designed
because my
bosses
father
I've
swiftly
ever seen
summoned
in
me
my
back to
entire
Lion's
fucking
territory.
life. Yeah.
After the king's death, the kingdom had become
So-
too unstable for me to remain there any
It's-
longer.
The boss at the bottom of this thing is the
Oh, right.
toughest boss in the whole
That was
game.
right around the tragedy of
We
Dusker.
were level capped.
My father worried that
With,
relations between the kingdom
like,
and alliance
The
might
best
be
gear we
constrained.
could possibly get for the dungeon.
As such, I was
And we
forced to
still
leave
had to
school
be
mere
on
days after
easy
my arrival.
to even have a shot at
Huh.
clearing it.
Kinda
And even
funny
then
how we
it was
keep
still
ending up
balls to
together
the
like
wall
this.
hard. Like,
Yes, it seems fate strives to keep us together. Whether at the
this is
School
the
of
kind of boss
Sorcery,
that you
the
would
Academy,
want the
or
super
here.
weapon that
I,
scales
for
with the
one,
number of
look
enemies
forward
that
to
you've
seeing
killed,
what the future
so that
holds.
you can just do batshit insane amounts of damage.
too.
Except they specifically
ever
set
call
that
me a
boss
kid
up
or
in
a
such
maid
a way that those
You know I'm not
weapons
the
do
son
not
you watch
work
is gonna
against
save
it at
you.
all.
Oh, that's dumb.
Yep.
I swear on my life,
So you're
those words
forced to
shall never
rely
cross my
on
lips again.
equipment that, statistically
And by way
speaking,
of
is about
apology for my
on
odious
your main
blunder,
units
I hereby swear to
4,000
come to
attack
your aid
less.
If ever you require it.
Jesus.
Yeah, it's a
Just
problem.
say the word, and I,
Bio
Lawrence
says it was
Hellman
around
Roster,
35
will hurry
episodes
to your
overall. I love Annette's awkward, like, do I really have to deal with Lawrence?
It's to the point where, like, Bio had to remind us we actually beat that boss. We forgot. We blocked it from our
good day to you.
memories.
Hey, Lawrence. Did you need something?
Yes, there is something I
On
simply
hardest
had to
difficulty,
tell
the
you.
boss is stat capped in everything.
Please don't say you
On
wanna
hard
ask
mode,
me
it's
out.
halfway stat capped in everything, and on
Perish the
normal, it's
thought.
still halfway
I
stat
merely
capped
wanted
on
to praise you for your
everything.
diligence, as it has clearly been paying off.
Thanks, I guess. What's all this about?
I have borne witness to your magnificent exploits, both on and off the battlefield. Such achievements could only be possible through tireless effort.
Also, I do love that first
That kind of brilliance
social link
is
between
impressive,
these two,
no
where
matter
he
if you're a
casually
noble
calls
or
her a
common lass of
scullery
the
maid.
lowest birth.
So great.
Is something the matter? You look like a pigeon that's just been struck in the face with wind magic.
Jeez.
It just came out of the blue is all. I wasn't really
And she's
expecting
a
you
noble.
to compliment me.
Like, he's treating her like garbage on the
Is
bottom of
receiving
his
a
shoe,
compliment
and
from me
she's
truly
a
so
noble.
shocking?
Yeah, but
I merely
she's
wanted to
not
express
like
my heartfelt admiration.
his
Not
level
least
of a
of all because
noble.
of the misunderstanding which has long stood between us.
She's not even heir to
I
her
thought it
family
best
or
to speak
anything.
my mind before
No,
fate's fickle hand separates us yet
but
again.
you'd think, Mr. like nobility's
You are
the best thing and everyone else's scum would at least treat other nobles with like she's got the hero's relic.
I see nothing odd about praising a
I
dear
mean,
colleague.
she didn't.
Sorry.
It was
I'm
in her
sorry.
uncle's possession. And
Yes, but he
probably
passed it on to her.
Totally
and
sincere about
probably
all
should
this.
have gone to her cousin, except
but-
he's
Not been
missing or something. I
How
don't
could
know.
I be
And I
anything
don't
less
think we
than
ever had
sincere in my
confirmation her
desire to
cousin
mend
has the
our
crest
previously
either.
strained relationship.
Is something the matter?
I'm glad
Just
you appreciate all of my
contemplating
efforts,
whether I
Lawrence.
should get the professor
I
or
really
not.
am.
Oh, is that all? You looked as
Because
if you were a
when you
pigeon
called me
hit
a
by
child
wind
back
magic.
then,
Yep,
it
getting the
felt like
professor.
you were dismissing all the
Yeah.
hard work it took to make it into the School of Sorcery. I think some part of me has wanted to win your approval ever since. So it feels great to finally have it happen.
No, you don't want his approval. You want
You're a better
Violet's
judge of
approval.
character than I gave you credit for, Lawrence.
Naturally, it is a noble's sacred duty to stand above others and correctly evaluate their worth, after all.
Well then, as something of a noble myself, I guess I could stand to
See,
learn more about that
something
from
of
you.
a noble.
That would be splendid! Well then, from one noble to another, perhaps you might join me for a meal so we might discuss issues of...
Absolutely not.
Let's not. I don't want to spoil my newfound appreciation for you.
Is that so? How unfortunate. Perhaps some other...
Absolutely not.
Whoa, look at the time. I better get going. I need to do something with all this extra motivation.
Something involving not you. Bye.
Well, no matter. I need only follow her example and work tirelessly toward my goal. For I, Lawrence Hellman Gloucester, must
Like, they
aspire
did
to
intend for
nothing
Lawrence to be such an unrepentant asshole, right? Because if they didn't, wow. Yeah, I feel like they did.
Am I actually a good knight?
No.
I feel like I'm hindering more than helping most of the time.
What's wrong, Ignatz?
Whoa, she just teleported. Yep.
Oh,
Jesus Christ.
Sorry to make you worry.
That was the least subtle
just
entrance of
pondering
frame
some things.
ever.
You
She
don't need
didn't
to
come
worry
in from off frame. She just apparated.
So you know what the
Gustav's daughter,
solution
right?
is there? It was clearly Flame
Yes?
fucking with her and
exactly.
just dropped her right there.
Rescue!
Gustav is said to be one of the finest
Yeah,
knights
Flame
in
was
all of
just outside
Fargus.
of Frame and rescued.
Flame, it's fine. Flame's just
Listen,
been working on her teleporting
do you have a
again.
minute to
Don't worry about it.
Of course. What's on your
Jesus,
mind?
that was jarring.
I've been thinking about something recently. I don't know if I'm any use as a knight.
What? Come on, Ignatz. You help us out plenty. Everyone relies on you.
Do you though? I mean, I'm a knight, but I don't have any particular skill where I'm outstanding. That's, Why, I was hoping I could learn a thing or two from stories about your father. Gustav is a legendary knight who served generations of Fargus kings, after all.
He also tried to burn us all to death this one time.
Okay, this is making
what?
me blush, and I'm not even the subject of the flattery. But hey, I'm happy to tell you what I
He's
know.
finally starting to get the hang of using warp.
Thank you. In that case, let me dive right in. So, what sort of training does he normally do?
He doesn't go a day without training with both the sword and spear. And I'm serious, I don't think he's taken a day off in decades.
Interesting. So, he must have been made a royal knight in recognition for all his hard work, right?
Nope. Nepotism.
I'm not sure if it's from hard work exactly. Okay, so this might just be one of my uncle's jokes, but my father started working as a soldier at the royal castle when he was even younger than we are now. And 40 or so years ago, apparently he saw the previous king, who was just a kid at the time, fall off one of the ramparts. So he threw his spear and pinned the young king's clothes to the wall, which saved his life. Anyway,
are you sure he wasn't just trying to assassinate the
Yeah, it's
king?
an assassination plot
That's,
gone wrong.
Well, it's so specific that I can't
He has to
entirely
take a
dismiss
day
it
off.
as a joke.
Training in decades.
After that,
He
my
wasn't
father
even there
changed
when
his
I was
training
born.
regimen to include
That's
spearing falling leaves
dark.
onto tree trunks. Hundreds of them, every day, I'm told.
He does all that just for training? I don't think I could pin one leaf, not to mention hundreds. Sorry, Annette. I think I've set my sights too high.
Oh, good thing you realized that before you came plummeting back down to the ground. Boy, this one's taking some time to
Sorry about
load.
earlier, Ignatz. I wasn't much help at all.
No, it's fine. You actually did a lot. If
she?
anything, your stories of Gustav just helped to confirm what I was thinking.
That I'm a sucky knight.
That you're not cut out to be a knight? Is that what you were going to say?
Exactly. You're pretty sharp, Annette.
Well, since I'm the one that brought on this misunderstanding, I'd better clear it up.
What misunderstanding?
Look, my father is clearly an incredible knight, and everyone knows it. But if everyone was a knight just like him, we'd still end up losing every war we fought. Don't let looks fool you. He's sloppy when it comes to taking care of himself. Also, he can be stubborn as a mule, and he's a complete
Really sounds like a
worrywart to
bunch of
boot.
random bullshit Gilliam made up.
He's
Yeah, I know,
maybe the
right?
best fighter in the land. And isn't that what a knight's job entails?
Not necessarily. The thing is, there are all kinds of different people who report to my father. And most are excellent fighters, sure. But then there are others who can barely even ride a horse. Yet my father relies on them all the same.
But how can he rely on a knight who can't fight?
Because they have other skills. For example, a handful of his reports know absolutely everything about cooking and ingredients. Imagine they're under attack and rations are running low. Those people tell the others what ingredients to gather and use them to make food, which allows everyone to fight another day.
Which is
All sorts of people
how
who
they
report
gain
to
his
my father.
trust.
The Arsehole
Everyone has
Squadron,
their
for
strengths and
example.
weaknesses. And it's a commanding officer's job to know what those are and give orders accordingly. And sure, all of this comes secondhand from my father, but I also know it's true. So, I don't think there's any reason for you to be so pessimistic. Charging directly into the gut of the enemy's main force isn't the only way for a knight to be useful.
So, you really think I'm still helping in some way?
I didn't say that, but
Absolutely. Maybe it's
Like,
your skill
that
in
might be
painting,
taking what I said
or
a
your
step
knowledge
too
about
far.
works of art, or how carefully you always look at your surroundings. You have a lot of strengths, and it would be a real pity to bury them all under an avalanche of "I'm not cut out for this kind of thing."
You know what? You're right. There are all kinds of different people in our army.
Do you
And
like
in
how
that
Annie
case,
just straight up says,
think I'll keep
yeah,
trying
they
to
say
be
a
a
lot
better
of
knight."
great stuff about my dad, but he kind of
so glad to
really
hear
sucks,
that.
and we'd
This was
probably
really
die
weighing
if
on
all
me,
of
so
our
I
knights
couldn't
were
just
like
let it
him.
go. And hey, you know how I always make a mess of things the second I lose my focus? Well, I used to get really worried about that for the same reason as you. I thought I was holding everyone back.
Really? But you help us all the time, Annette. I mean, if not for you cheering me up, I probably would have resigned from my knighthood.
Oh, that makes me so happy, Ignatz. I'm
That
really
he was
glad
going
I
to
could help.
resign?
Yes.
I know we
Wow.
both have our own sets of worries to deal with, but we'll just keep working hard together.
And I know I can work harder if I'm with you.
I used to think I was just holding everyone back, but then one day I remembered this wind slash trick from somewhere, and now there's a lot of other things I think about.
Yep.
Oh, stop. You're gonna make me blush. It's an honor to be complimented by one of the School of Sorcery's most legendary alumni.
I'm legendary now, am I? Well, I can't say I disagree.
I heard so many stories about you, though I don't know how true any of them are. Like, there's one where you turned a bunch of bossy noble kids into horses, apparently?
Oh yes! I remember that spell. I titled it, Wherefore Winnies. I was so overjoyed at having completed it that I began using it everywhere, and thus a tiny misunderstanding was born.
This girl's a menace.
I also heard you were smart enough to argue magical theory with the teachers and win.
I don't know, Annie. I bet Child
Arguing
could
is such
take
a
her in a
French way
fight.
to put it.
Yeah.
But these stories offer only a glimpse into who I am. Such trifling incidents are hardly worthy of the word legendary.
Yeah, but it sounds like at least some of them actually happened, right? I never dreamed I'd be fighting beside as big a legend as you. It honestly makes me kind of nervous.
No need for such modesty. After all, you yourself are among the most talented women in all the kingdom.
Oh gosh, that's high praise. Did a teacher say it maybe?
I hear you're extremely adept at executions.
No, I merely happened to read that book you wrote during your time there.
Book? Oh, but no. I mean, I'm not even sure I'd call that a book, so... Really, it was more like a collection of memos on how to bake Mercy's treats.
Making magical morsels! Exactly! That book spoke to my very soul. The thought of using magic to simplify complicated cooking tasks was nothing short of revolutionary.
Man, it feels so weird for Annie being here,
but
hyping
how
up
did you
this
get your hands
person
on
that
it?
we literally
supposed to be
never even
private.
heard of in the last game.
I mean,
Yeah.
I did give a teacher permission to present one of the spells, but...
Combining ice and wind magic to make the outside soft while the inside stays crunchy. Oh, remarkable! It created a
I mean, we
radical
only
new
didn't
movement
hear
of
of them
desserts
because
that
I
were
refused to
softer,
do the Ash and
sweeter,
Wolves
and
DLC
more
off
divine than
camera.
any which had come before. If you aren't proud of that, you can't be proud of anything. Though it is unfortunate the treats cannot be made without the use of the school's facilities.
Well, it's not that I'm not proud, but
Mostly because the
it's also
DLC
not like
is
I wrote it all by myself
extremely
either.
busted. Like, Yuri is
I mean,
the
sure,
single
the
most
magic was
broken
me,
unit in that
but
game.
Mercy is the one who taught me how
Yeah.
to bake in the first place.
And also, like, Constance's
Mercedes,
unique class
I am
is
well aware that her little
bananas.
delicacies
She
are
gets
the
Darkfire,
finest in
doesn't
all
she?
Well, it's not
Fodlan.
called that, but yes.
Like those ones with pockets of sweetened butter mixed into the dough? I would kill for one of those right now.
Oh, I haven't heard of that one. Is it a new creation? I must ask her to make it for me. Ahem. In any case, I look forward to getting to know you better, Annette. I anticipate many lively theoretical discussions ahead.
Oh god. Okay, so we're almost done with the Blue Lions. We've got Ingrid, who we need to do her Rodrigue and Marianne supports. Well, her Rodrigue B and her Marianne C and B. Then we've got Rodrigue, who we'll just be done with. And then it'll be into Lawrence for a few. We're getting there.
And then, but the other thing is then we have to actually do all the supports that aren't unlocked in this menu yet, because...
Yes. And then once we get Yuritsa, we'll have to do, what, 2 there, 1 there, and then those aren't unlocked yet. So we'll have another 3 to do after we get Yuritsa. But, probably as good a place as any to call it for this week.
Yeah, probably. Alright, well, we will catch you guys next time.
Till then.
See ya!